Hey guys, real quick, this is episode 1 of the Beaver podcast, and obviously there's going to be a few mistakes at the start, so I'll try my best to sort them out and improve with every episode. So here's episode 1 with Monty. Alright, welcome brother Monty.
Alright, thanks for having me, brother Bibbit.
Episode 1 of the Beaver podcast.
The inaugural episode. Let's see how this goes.
Yep, alright.
First mini, let's hope.
Yep, let's see. So I've got a topic of list here.
Alright.
So start off with Jiu Jitsu.
Alright, far away, yes. Jiu Jitsu.
Just give me a rundown, I guess, of your history of Jiu Jitsu. When did you start?
Interesting. Now, my first ever experience with kind of any martial art was with yourself at a little gym in Lower Hutt called Pure MMA.
Pure MMA.
Literally my first ever class. I only went to the one class. It was with yourself. And I remember we drilled, what was it? Single leg takedowns or something like that, and had a few pads. So that was kind of my first experience with martial arts.
I wonder what happened to those blokes, because I remember that one guy was competing. Like, he was flying to Aussie to do some 80cc comp or something. So
I remember they shut down after like a few months. So yeah. No idea what happened there. It was down it's in central Lower Hutt. Can't remember now, but pretty much after that, I really liked the ground side of things, and I think a lot of it was to do with watching Khabib in the UFC.
Smash. And
just smashing everyone. So I was like, all right, I'll try this. And my uncle Sam was training at a little gym in, funny I say this, down in Lower Hutt called Valley BJJ, which actually I found out on Saturday is closing down on July, in like the third week of July. So
yeah, that's sad. I was talking yesterday at that party.
Yeah.
Lisa's daughter goes to Valley BJJ.
True. At the kids class.
Yeah, been going for a couple of years. I think they're going to push people out to Steve's gym.
Yeah, so
Valley closes.
That's what I heard too. So I mean, I started out in Valley BJJ, and I was there all the way to purple belt. So quite a number of years actually. Yeah,
that's decent.
Yeah, good times at the old Valley. So trained out in Valley since 2019 to about 2022, and then moved to a new gym, or not so new now, but a gym out in town, Workshop Jiu Jitsu with Pat and Amy. So been there since start of 2022 maybe, or the middle of 2022. So
it's gone fast, bro.
Real
Feels
fast.
like you've only just gone there, right? About 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. I was cross training between Valley and Workshop quite a bit. For my first couple of months until I got my purple, and then switched over once that happened. That was about mid 2022. I made the full time transition over. So yeah, it was mixing up. So that's I've been training since 2019 to now 2024. So what's that? A couple of years.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years. So
decent.
Yeah, gone very fast.
Brown belt now?
Brown belt now. I got my brown belt end of last year, December 14th, I think, after a Thursday night training, which was a nice surprise to end the year. So yeah, it's gone real fast. Haven't really did one class and haven't really looked back. So
nice.
Yeah.
Road to black now, eh?
Yeah, getting there slowly. So it's couldn't really imagine my life at the moment without jiu-jitsu. So
yeah. Bro, it's crazy to think, like, back when we were going to the TKD gym, having those rolls with Sam. I think my first ever session was with you, and you were teaching me, like, arm triangle and maybe a straight footlock. First 2 subs I learnt.
I know that footage is locked away somewhere. I don't think I could watch that ever again.
Some brown belt shit, eh? Do you remember that?
I do. It was, some interesting rolls for sure back then. But I remember we used to just go there and just roll for like 2 hours straight. I mean, probably knew 1 or 2 moves each, but hey,
on the grind.
That's the thing though with jiu-jitsu, right? You just got to do it really, and over time you improve. And
like you always say, time on the mats.
Time on the mats over everything.
Yeah, you definitely feel it like with new people. Yeah, it's weird because you get taught a move, but you just got to keep drilling it, and it's just more time rolling. You just start to, I don't know, understand your body a bit better, your balance, etc.
Yeah, 100%. When I talk to new people or, fresh white belts, and they kind of ask, is there anything I can do better? I kind of always just say, just keep it up. Yeah. Time, the more time you spend doing it, the better you'll get. Jiu-jitsu is one of the things you're not going to be good at far. I mean, you can, but it takes a long time to get quite good, so... Yeah. It's just got to be consistent, like anything really. Just got to be consistent and not quit.
Like Jocko says, it's a modern day superpower, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's Yeah, I mean, once you get a really good understanding of jiu-jitsu and you versus someone that's untrained, that's, within an acceptable weight limit, it's just, you can kind of do what you want to them. So
it is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
There's the odd freaks.
Yeah.
Like, even like when Big Josh comes into our gym and rolls, he just stands up all the time. And
Yeah,
then it's like people don't know how to deal with it.
Size does matter, right? So
does.
it's I learned that lesson a few times, but no, I mean, jiu-jitsu is definitely a superpower. If you're facing someone and they're untrained, I mean, you can do what you want to them, right? It's very dangerous as soon as it gets to the ground, right? So yeah.
What's in the works for upcoming comps?
I mean, so when I started jiu-jitsu, I used to compete very regularly. We've done a lot of comps together.
Yep. Some
good times. I can recall some crazy experiences in the competitions. Many times Brad's had to wheel me through the airports in a wheelchair because I've blown my ankle out on my knee. Honestly, probably like 3-4 times, but it's always good because he skipped the lines at the airport because I'm in a little wheelchair. But
it's just fun, bro. Do you remember that one like in Hastings even where you it's crazy to think, bro, under 66 you did.
The under 66. So I mean, what happened was it was the Mana Championship, which is no longer a competition anymore. But back a few years ago, it was kind of the bee's knees of submission only. It's been taken over by stealth grappling now. They're kind of the submission only people on the circuit now. Jay Mahadavani runs a good comp. But anyway, back then it was the Mana Championship, and they did a competition out in Hastings. And this is back when I was a lot lighter, and I was cutting. I was probably sitting around like 69, 68 kilos, maybe 70. And I was going to do the under 66 division. So I spent the week cutting down to 66, and we bought a scale up with us because we drove up from Wellington, and I was so paranoid about my weight. I remember pulling over on the side of the road before we got pita pit for dinner, I think.
On the way up.
And I was like, I just got to make sure I'm on weight, and I was bang on weight. And I remember even that night, I was so paranoid about it, I didn't even drink, and I woke up super dehydrated.
I think we left the AC on. It was real hot in the middle of the night.
We
did. That was a rookie mistake.
I do remember this, yeah. And we get to the tournament, and I jump on the scales, and I was way overweight. I was like 69 kilos or something. I was like, how the flip did I miss it by 3 kilos? There's no way I've missed it this bad. And I remember
we rocked up early too as well.
I remember you were saying, you're like, I swear I was weighing.
I was light then. I think it was under 88. I was like 84 or something. And then when I weighed in, it was like 87. I'm like,
yes. And remember they had two scales, or something like that. And they had the one scale, and they were weighing that little plate.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was a 2.5, but it weighed like 2.7
or 6.
And you did the maths for every kilo.
Yeah.
This is way off.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's definitely correct. So I was like, shit. Found the nearest sauna. Was like running in the sauna in all my clothes. This is a full sauna. Everyone's like, what is this dude doing?
We were at the comp, and then we're like, what can we do? And the guy's like, well, it's not our fault you missed weight. You got to go cut it.
Yeah.
So we're like Googling nearest sauna, and then fucking jumped in the car, boosting there.
And this is like
45
minutes before my match was meant to start. I'm in the sauna, and I was like, all right. I was in there for maybe 20 minutes. I was like, all right, I've done what I can. I'll go back if I don't make weight. It is what it is. And as I was traveling back, I got a call from the promoter at the time through Instagram. He's like, sorry, bro, the scales were wrong. You were actually on weight the whole time. So, I mean, not only I cut to under 66, I've cut even more. I reckon I was probably like 64. So there's like 20 minutes to my match. I'm completely depleted. Like no water, no nothing in me, no food. So... Yeah.
I remember when I dropped you off, I had to boost the supermarket to get your Powerade.
That's right.
And then came back and you were like dripping in sweat. You're fucking all panicking, like, gotta get back.
Oh man, yeah, that was a good. Performance-wise, I was fine, but I was vomiting after my matches. I was like, oh my gosh,
you got gold that day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was one of my first golds actually. It was a tough division, few good younger
Did cats.
Did you face
Nixon?
I faced Nixon, yeah. So. That's when he was very young, so he's a bit of a beast now. But faced Nixon, another bloke, Xavier Williams, who's transitioned to MMA as well. I'm pretty sure he's doing quite well. So yeah, that was just one of the many crazy times I've had on the comp circuit in Lower Hutt. I mean, there's been some other crazy
Dunedin
ones.
One?
The Dunedin one's probably my favorite story. With the Stephen Booth loves telling the story, the infamous under 77 kilo intermediate division. I think there's a group of like maybe 6 or 7 of us. A few names was myself, Liam Tosh, and this Russian fella, Abdullah.
That's right.
Who turned up in gi pants and wrestling shoes.
And his beanie,
and
his little Russian beanie.
Russian beanie. And long story short, everything was legal except heel hooks in the intermediate division. This again was a minor championship rule set. I think every single person in the division ended up with some form of snapped or something, some leg injury, because everyone was just ripping on toe holds and knee bars. I remember the first match I got someone in a toe hold. He didn't tap and his foot just snapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Wasn't that one of the early comps that were blue belt toe holds?
Yeah.
Like before they weren't really allowed to do them?
Yeah, exactly. And like he got his like toes snapped, like toes to shin. I was like, shit. It was kind of on him. And then the next match, I was in a toe hold shootout with Jackin, he's a quite good grappler down from Wanaka. I was in a toe hold shootout with him, and unfortunately he won that one, and my ankle just snapped.
I remember that physio. She had her work cut out for her, just after every match. There was someone limping over there.
And this just went on the whole time. Just someone was getting their knees snapped from a knee bar or their ankles. And yeah, craziest division I've ever been a part of. And then there was Abdullah, who was just strangling everyone. I think he actually runs a Sambo gym out in Auckland now. I could be wrong, but
he was down in Invercargill for a while. Like, I think when I was going down there, he was at that gym.
Yeah, all over the show. So that was many fun times competing. Definitely one of my favorite pastimes. But in terms of your question, anything coming up? Had a bit of a quiet. I haven't really done a competition, a tournament format competition since Grappling Industries in Sydney last year, which was a good time.
Just doing the big shows now, eh?
Yeah, I've kind of been doing a few of the invitational stuff and the super matches and whatnot. But looking to get back into the competition scene. Second half of 2024. Just been enjoying training at the moment. Been having a few things going on in my life where I just haven't been able to compete as much. So, definitely looking forward to get back. We're going to do the ADCC World Open in Vegas in August. So
yeah, that'll be a month.
It'll be a bit of a step up for sure, and training hard for it. So I just excited to test the level, see where I'm at against some of the best in the States or the world really. So should be good. It's been a minute, but looking good to it.
Is that ADCC? Anyone can just rock up, and then if you win it, you qualify to the.
So it's not so much. Normally, there's the trial. So if you win, you get your ticket to ADCC.
Yeah.
This is more just a world championship or a world open before the actual ADCC.
Right.
So just anyone can enter.
So a good time to practice for those competitors competing in the actual one.
Yeah, exactly. So. So that's on, and then the ADCC and the Craig Jones thing's the day after. So
oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to watch?
I don't. I think the missus has done our itinerary, and I don't think that's in the schedule, unfortunately.
Sad.
So I think doing the ADCC Open. So fingers crossed I don't blow an ankle out or something. But should be good. Yeah. So training hard for that, and we'll see where we're at. But when I get back to New Zealand, we'll look at getting back into the circuit a bit more. And
Yeah, it's man. How many comp wins do you have nowadays?
Smooth comp. There's over 100. Unofficially, I think there's a bit more. But it's more. Back when I was like a blue belt, the main thing for me was just winning my matches. That's all I really cared about. These days, unless it's like a really big competition, I just want the experience, Really want to try some new stuff I've been working on. I mean, all I really did with blue and even first half of my purple was just leg lock everyone. And I kind of got known as a leg lock guy.
Bro, you still have that reputation, though. Because when I go down south for work and train, if I ever mention you, like, oh, the leg lock guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he's definitely got a lot more than leg locks, but yep, the leg lock guy.
So, I mean, leg locks is not something I really do at training at all anymore. So it's like, it's still in my arsenal, of course, but I've been working a lot of wrestling and a lot of top pressure stuff, so keen to show that off in competition. So we'll see how we get on. And
didn't you just have a wrestling comp?
Yeah, I did the Wellington regionals. That was a bit of fun, eh? Freestyle wrestling rules. We sent a little team from workshop, and we were like the Jamaican bobsled team at the Winter Olympics. Like, we turned up, we had no gear, we had to borrow singlets and shoes, but we smashed all the wrestling boys. So
yeah, that's good.
it was a good time. It was pretty funny. I mean, we do a lot of wrestling at workshop. Every session, first 15 to 30 minutes is wrestling, and then we've got strictly wrestling on Wednesday nights. So
yeah.
Super important. I think a lot of gyms, as you probably know as well, just neglect wrestling.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's a massive hole, not only in like New Zealand, but just jiu-jitsu as a sport in general, right? A lot of people are, freaks on the ground, but if they can't get it to the ground.
I feel it myself, it's a tough one, because wrestling's like so damaging on the body.
It is.
Well, for me, my back's a bit fucked, and just, the wrestling is just killer. And I'm guessing that's why people don't want to train it all the time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because I've done a bit of training out at Tawa Tiger, where Tiger Tai was just strictly freestyle wrestling. And they always tell me off for my stance, because I wrestle quite upright, because that's what you do in jiu-jitsu. Wrestling with a low wrestling stance, you're just going to get snapped into a guillotine or snapped down. So and I always say, it hurts my bloody lower back, just being in that hunched over position for, 30, 40 minute of wrestling. So definitely a big weak hole in jiu-jitsu, but you're right, it is fucking hard on the body. And I think injury wise, the majority of injuries come from the standing position. I mean, even in my experience, I've never really seen any bad injuries on the ground in training. If there's an injury, it's more than likely from wrestling. Someone posts. The big one at the moment I've seen is people posting on their arm when they get taken down. And then, of course, all their body weight comes down. And, I mean, I've been guilty of it as well. It's just natural reaction to post out when you get taken down. But, it's just one of those things.
Grant was telling Higgy that at training this week, because he was just, posting real stiff arm.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the time it's okay. It's obviously just those freak accidents where it's gets caught.
Oh, for sure. I think even Danaher says just posting is just not a good idea at all. Even when trying to come up from bottom position, if you're posting on your arm, your weight goes back on it. It could snap. So I think that and flying submissions. I don't think flying submissions have any place in the training room, eh?
Yeah, it's compounding. You've got a few of them in comp, haven't you? That fucking armbar you got, bro, and that what was it? The 4v4 that you guys had? The
quintet. Yeah. I mean, I've got a few of them, but it's not something I ever train in the room. It's just kind of
in the moment,
spur of the moment, kind of and just happens. And
that one was wild because you were you'd subs 2 people. You'd had 2 matches.
I had 2 matches. Sub the first one. The second one I won by an advantage.
Yeah.
And
then you could see how tired you were.
Done.
You were and then you just fucking pull off that flying armbar.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
That was a good moment. But it was everyone asked me did you plan that? I was like, no, I was just so fucking exhausted. I couldn't do anything. I was exhausted. I mean, that's the thing with those quintets, right? They could, if you're in there and you're facing everyone, you're just gonna get so tired. Yeah. So
it's almost like a Shark Tank, right? You're just destined to fail eventually.
And you get a fresh opponent. It's like, oh shit. But no, they're awesome. That was awesome. That was done by Mark Hampton from MTI. Put that event together, and that was wicked. He's done some interesting ones. He did the Battle Royale. He's done the jiu-jitsu shows, and he runs his Capital Punishment. So he's good. Tell
us about the Battle Royale.
Oh, that was a bit of fun. So MTI opened a new gym, just same street as Workshop, real close. So we did it was open to everyone in New Zealand. It was just a 60-man Battle Royale, which you took part in as well.
Yep.
Pretty much just 60 people. Cut in half. You start with somebody on your back to back with somebody, and then from there it's just everyone for everyone. You sub your person, and then you move on. And it was just it was a free for all. It was fucking chaos, as you can remember.
Bro, I remember too. They didn't really tell us the rules until we turned up that day, and then they're once you engage in a group, you can't leave that group. So then everyone's game plan just went out the window.
Well, I think a lot of people were forming alliances beforehand. Yeah. I think it was a good rule to stop that from happening.
It was good too, yeah.
But as you can remember, it was just chaos. This is chaos.
It was crazy, bro, because like once I got out, I just saw you going from like person to person, just like subbing people. What did you get, like 7 or 8 subs that day?
I think I got 10 actually. I was trying to... My tactic was just to get on somebody's... Because there was more than like... I was trying to find groups with the lowest amount of people, the fewer people. So I was going, you know, where there was only like 1 or 2 people in it.
Yeah.
And I'll just jump on the top guy's back and just strangle him and then try finish the guy on bottom. And I was kind of making mini alliances at the time. Like, I'd join a group of 2 people battling. I'd be like, should we get this guy? And then we'll go at it. And then...
It was the mental games. You were like getting in people's heads, eh?
Yeah,
just like, Well, even when you jumped on Kyle and Tom, you somehow managed to turn Kyle against his brother.
Yeah, no, it was a good... Like, I never thought I was going to win that thing at all. Came in, I was like, it's going to be a bit of fun. I think people are going to gang up on me and Luca pretty fast and get us out of there. But, yeah, it just worked out in my favour.
You two made it to top 3.
Yeah, me, Luca, and Grant.
Yeah. Luca got me, subbed me. I think I was running with, is it James?
Yeah, James.
And then Luca came over. It's like, come on, bro. Because as soon as you sub me, Luca then sub James.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, we should have ganged up on Luca.
Yeah, it was no friends in that, right? Everyone was everyone. So no, that was awesome. So he's run some pretty good events, old Mark. So
what, you got $1,000 or something for that?
$1,000, which was went straight to my travel costs, which was sweet.
That's mean.
Couldn't have asked for a better prize really. So
I remember I was down south training when that was coming up, and I just kept telling all the gyms, I was like, there's a 60-man in Wellington, people are doing it. I think the Dunedin boys were thinking about coming up and doing like a team sort of getting it and then splitting the 1,000, but they would have been disappointed when they rocked up, found out the rules.
Yeah, I think they call it the Highlander rule, where if you join a group of 3 or 4 people, you have to sub all those people before you move on. So I mean, that's strictly just cut out forming alliances.
I hope they do more of those. It was fun.
It was kind of just like a jiu-jitsu Hunger Games, right? Like,
it was, right? And I don't know, like usually I get real nervous for comps, but before that one I wasn't nervous at all. I was just like happy, smiling, and I left that day
just a bit of fun. I mean, I've done over 150 matches, I think, in jiu-jitsu, and I still get... Well, here's the thing. I used to think I got nervous, but a good buddy of ours, Daniel Raju, actually gave me a quote. And ever since he told me that, I've never looked at nerves the same. He told me nervousness and excitement are the same emotion. So instead of saying you're nervous, you say, I'm really excited to compete. And ever since he told me that, like I've never... Because you remember, like, back before comps, I'd be so nervous, I'd be, like, vomiting in the bathroom, like, an hour before.
I'll get the nervous shits, you get the nervous voms. We'd be, like, in the stalls next to each other.
Yeah, so...
Always felt sorry for you.
Breakfast would always come up pretty fast. But, I haven't had that issue in years now. Ever since I kind of learned that, I'm super excited. And I think nerves are a good thing as well. I mean, it shows you kind of care about what you're going to do or...
Well, weren't we like design nerves to like heighten our senses, right? Like
exactly.
Danger is close and everything's like heightened.
Exactly. So I don't think nerves are a super bad thing. I mean, I know a lot of people I talk to that are new to competing always say they have adrenaline dumps and things like that, and I think that's just going to happen until you compete a certain amount of time, and you can over time. You lose your nerves and get a bit of confidence and stuff. So
you didn't see it in the UFC, or even like with Louis, his last fight. I don't know if you watched it, but fuck, he was on, bro. His previous fights, you could see the adrenaline dump, but that fight is just like he was on.
Oh,
just
100%.
Like sussing him, cardio was there.
100%. I mean, adrenaline dumps are horrible when they happen.
So
you're just like fucking zero energy. You know what to do, but you can't do it because you're so damn tired.
Yeah, and it's weird because like you go to an open mat. How long do your open mats? Like 3 hours?
Yeah, we at workshop we do 10 to 1. But I think they designed it so it was more like a train station. You come and go. I'm like, fuck that. I'll just stay the whole 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah, but you can roll 3 hours straight, right? And then you can have 1 5-minute match to get an adrenaline dump.
Yeah, and you're like, 100%. But I've been listening to a lot of Josh Saunders. And he reckons just treat competition just like training, Yeah. Just go in there. I mean, honestly, who does care if you lose, right? Like, no one's going to care. I mean, I've lost many, many times in front of friends, family, in the gym and stuff, and no one really cares. So,
it's a weird one, though, because it's hard to tell people that.
Yeah.
People that do care, like, I don't know. it's hard to convince them to just jump in a comp.
100%. I mean, obviously you don't want to lose, and it's disappointing, but I think losing is necessary.
Yeah, I think it significantly grows your game.
100%. I mean, even the last super match I did was against Jerry, and I trained real hard for it. Went down to Christchurch on my own dime and got ass choked in like 2 minutes.
Fuck.
And I was dark on it afterwards, but I was like, you know what, let's relit the fuel. Just get back to work and get back to competition. Not defined by your losses, so it's all good.
No, I respect that.
Yeah, win some, lose some, just make sure you get some, right?
Yeah, exactly, get some.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even have the balls to step on the competition mat, so...
Yeah, I respect it, eh? Yeah. It's the same as getting in the ring. It's hard to, like, criticise someone even if they go get knocked out.
No, exactly. It's like, if you haven't been in there, you're not competing.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth, really.
Says it's like you're the 1%. If you get in the ring, you're like the 1% of the population that can actually have the balls to get in there.
100%. I mean, I think in any kind of form of martial art, you should be competing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be doing it all the time and making it your life, but, just test your skills. I mean, the worst that can happen is, you can lose.
Yeah. I feel like with, like, fighting, as in getting into, like, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever, there's a bit more consequences. Like, I can understand people not wanting to do that. Like, you're not getting paid, but you're potentially getting brain damage.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, broken noses.
100%.
But I don't know, some of those high-level jiu-jitsu matches, I guess, are the same. You get heel hooked, destroy your knee.
100%. But, I mean, it's not as bad as kickboxing,
you can just tap a bit earlier, right?
I mean, unless someone absolutely rips on a sub or there's a freak accident, you more than likely will have time to tap. Whereas in kickboxing, if you don't see a kick coming, you're fast asleep in front of all your friends and family and training partners. But hey, balls for getting in the ring. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all good.
I remember that some of the comps that we did back in the day, there was always those people on the sidelines. I think it was the Hastings one. He's like, rip it.
Yeah, rip it.
Break it.
Break his arm.
Relax.
There's some intense people on the sidelines. Definitely get all walks of life at the competitions.
But you got hyped up that time. I was in Auckland. Remember I had that straight Footlock on?
Yes.
And then there was that his girlfriend was there, and you're like, break it. Fucking rip the straight Footlock. She's like, no, don't.
I do remember that because he wasn't tapping. I was like, just keep ripping it.
Yeah.
He'll tap.
Like, I don't think he did tap it. I was pretty gassed after that.
Well, that's the thing with competing. If they don't tap, it's on them.
Yeah.
I mean, they break their ankle. It's not really on you. I mean, you've seen some pretty nasty ones. Craig Jones breaking.
Yeah. Bro,
Vinny McGlade's leg.
I was watching his YouTube thing last night, the episode 4 of his Craig Jones Invitational.
He snapped some ankles, did he? Yeah.
And bro, he kept telling them like tap early, and then it's like, oh, this guy's the best in our gym. But clearly he's not on Craig Jones level, and he doesn't tap, and then he just fucking snaps his leg.
Yeah, it's yuck. I mean, there's a certain sound, especially with toe holds and ankle locks. It sounds like if you bite into an apple. That's the crunch it makes when their ligaments go off. I've heard it many times on myself and on other people, and it's just yuck.
And there's a difference between the straight footlock and your toe holds, eh?
Yeah.
Because you used to always toe hold people and just be like pop, pop, pop.
Well, that's the thing with an ankle lock. Like when you do it, you hear a few pops, and then they more than likely tap. But like a toe hold, you just put it on, it's just snap.
Yeah.
It's like a flip. No
probably
time.
less of a recovery time, do you think, toe hold? Just like rolling your ankle, right?
Yeah, toe hold. I mean, I don't think that unless you snap the ankle itself, you'll be fine. Yeah. It'll just be black and blue. Won't be walking for a few days, but you'll be right after a couple of weeks, It's not like a heel hook where you've just ripped your MCL and all your knee ligaments apart.
Yeah. And
you're out for 9 months. But I know the ankle lock can be pretty scary. We've got some scary individuals or scary ankle locks at the gym at workshop where they're even just on the shin bone. You can like feel your shin starting to bend.
You say Max has a mean one, eh?
Max, Luca, and Nick Smith have ones that I reckon, could break your shin bones. And then Amy's got a pretty nasty footlock as well.
Yeah.
Which is more on the ankle itself. She's got me in that a few times, but I'm more scared of ankle locks than I am of heel hooks, to be honest.
Well, you see those videos? I reckon we should try it.
The baseball bat,
and like you can see how much torque they get to like snap one of them.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I reckon I could do 2 bats.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Bro, I was watching a video of like a gym doing it, and there was some big boys that couldn't break it, eh?
We'll see. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I think if you get the technique right and you get that big arch, especially how you get that arch, you should be able to smoke it.
Yeah, no, that'd definitely be a fun try. I remember, have you ever seen Ben Askren gets 2 watermelons and he pops them, by the squeeze, one each arm? I tried to do, this was years ago, I tried to do 1 watermelon with both. I just fucking could not do it. It was so hard. I'll be keen to try it again, test that squeeze out, but I just could not do it.
Do you reckon he lets them sit there for like weeks? The watermelons get real old and soft, and then boom.
Probably something behind it, a little trick, but...
Yeah. Nah, that'd be fun. I'll be keen to do it one time
Yeah,
with the boys.
keen. It's just
get
expensive.
A whole bunch of watermelons.
Expensive for a watermelon. I mean, I guess you can
$20 or something.
Yeah, I guess you can eat it afterwards, but if you pop it, it'll be everywhere. Yeah.
Nice. All right. What else is going on? I've got on my list here testosterone. You seem to be on a bit of a buzz on that at the moment. Yeah,
testosterone is something I've been real into researching lately, and it's pretty concerning. What's the doctor? What's her name that specializes in it? Dr. Shana.
Better get it right.
Yeah, Dr. Shana
Swan, I think.
Swan, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
She's done a few studies and she's found from, don't quote me on the years, I think it was from the early 2000s to maybe 2020, the average testosterone in males was dropping 1% every year. And from 2020 till now, it's dropping 2%.
Yeah, that's quite significant, eh?
That's huge. I mean, again, I don't have the studies and stuff in front of me, but I think... Don't quote me on this, but it's something along the lines of an average 20-year-old in today's society has the same testosterone as like a 60-year-old male in 1970s or something along those lines. I mean, I'd have to look at the study to give an accurate fact, but it's something along those lines, which is pretty concerning.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you look into why, there's just so many reasons, and when you kind of tell other people that the reasons, they look at you like you've got a tinfoil hat on, but it's the studies show it's true, you know.
Yeah.
The main things are like, plastics, tap water, and just a lot of other things, but those are some of the big culprits.
Plastics, especially when you heat them, right?
Well, exactly, because they're endocrine disrupting chemicals and they mimic estrogen. And when you're putting those in your body, it's going to lower your testosterone. So
it's so hard to avoid too, man. Plastics.
I mean, I can give countless examples. Like as I said the other day, I went to Zambero. I was like, get a burrito, can't go wrong. And all the food was just sitting in heated plastic containers that have been on, 8 hours a day, every day for the last 8-9 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, just melting. And it's the black plastic as well, was recycled electrical equipment a lot of the time. So it's just leaking microplastics into those food. I had pulled pork and it was just leaking, obviously over time, just leaking microplastics into what you eat. And since then I've done a very conscious effort of, I mean, you can see the glass bottles, removing most plastic from my life. I mean, of course, it's near impossible to remove all plastics, but if you make a conscious effort, I mean, you can go on YouTube or look at studies, people that remove the stuff, their testosterone just skyrockets after they get rid of it, get rid of plastics. So, I mean, heated plastics, tap water, just a lot of other things as well. The list goes on, right? Why our testosterone is decreasing.
I find with the whole plastic thing, you really have to honestly just eat at home if you want to avoid it all.
Oh, 100%. Because
it's like, I try my best when I go out to get something healthy, but then, I was telling you the other day how I got a roast sandwich for Tay.
Yeah.
And it's like, no seed oils, all this shit, no gravy. And then she pulls out the meat, chucks on a plastic chopping board, and then chops up the meat, chucks it in your sandwich. It's like, how many microplastics did I get in that sandwich,
Oh, 100%. And the thing is, when you tell other people this, they just look at you. Like, there's two reactions. One, they're like, oh, you're crazy, like... That's bullshit. And the other one's like, oh, well, don't care. They probably think it's true, but they don't care.
You can't convince people. Like, I got this quote from Connor Bliss, actually, where he's like, you just got to be a critical thinker. And it's so true. It's like, you can tell people the studies and this is bad for you, but if they're not going to be a critical thinker and look into it themselves, like, they're never going to help themselves, right?
No, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right?
That's the one.
So, I mean, if you do your own research, you can find this all out for yourself. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty concerning. Just the plastics are everywhere, right? Everywhere.
But there is also simple things you can do, right, to help prevent it.
100%.
Like you were trying to convince Arby to just replace his plastic containers with
glass. I mean, it's just a very minimal change, but I think it goes a long way. Things. Especially in terms of testosterone, it's just get yourself a stainless steel or a glass bottle.
Yep.
Very easy change. Eat out of glass containers. I mean, I've got rid of all like a non-stick coating things as well. But in terms of like kitchenware, just replace your spatula with a stainless steel one. But then again, you kind of want if you're using stainless steel, you don't want to have non-stick coating, right? Because you're just going to scratch Teflon into your food.
Which is probably worse.
Which is probably worse. So, I mean, I use stainless steel or a cast iron pan. Got all stainless steel kitchenware. We just replaced it all.
Yep.
And
it's pretty cheap, man. You can get a Kmart or the warehouse. And
super cheap. And I mean, it lasts you for ages. And it's just little conscious changes.
Yep.
And over the years, are probably going to make a big difference. If you're using the same plastic spatula for years and years and years, you're just going to be leaking, microplastics.
Yeah. Bro, I went, after you were telling me about all this, I went around to mum and dad's and I was like cleaning out their kitchen drawer. One of mum's like plastic spatulas had literally lost a few centimeters on it.
Oh, exactly.
It's like, where is this gone? This is fucking gone into your food.
All into your food. I mean, look, if you make a conscious effort to get rid of all these things, and you have eat something out of plastics every once in a while, it's not going to make a difference. But if you're constantly eating out of just plastics all the time, like, it's just going to be doing so much damage. I mean, there's a reason testosterone levels are decreasing. I mean, you can't just put it all on plastics. It's a cocktail of things, but plastics is a huge reason why, Yeah.
I reckon just the number one rule for that is just never heat plastics.
No,
like, you can buy one of those frozen meals that say put in the microwave and it's got that plastic film.
Wrap on the top.
It's like, don't do that. No. Just fucking dump it on a plate and then heat it up. Or like gravy in a packet. It's like, just put it in the microwave. It's like, don't put that plastic in the microwave.
Just put it in a little glass container and then put it in the microwave and go from there.
Simple things.
I mean, so it's just real conscious little changes and it will go a long way. I mean, I'm willing to say if you did a testosterone test, got your blood work done, and then cut out all forms of plastics for 6 months and then did another one, I'm pretty confident as long as you're sleeping well and doing everything else, your testosterone should increase, right?
Yeah. How much by do you think?
Like, really depends.
It'd be interesting to see how far much it bounces back, or if you are permanently,
100%. I mean, there's so many other things as well. Like sleep's super important.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the people I've worked with over the years, just
sleep when you die. That mentality.
I can't fathom. Like, I won't name names, but an old boss of mine would always complain that he's had 4 hours sleep in 3 days and he hasn't slept for days at a time and things like that, and he'd have literally, and this is not an exaggeration, 20 coffees in a day. 20 instant coffees in a day. Never see him drinking water, things like that, and I'm like, oh dude, how do you function?
Well, even listening to Matthew Walker and Hoopman talk about coffee, a lot of people say, I can drink coffee and still get to sleep fine, but Matthew Walker's like, well, yes, you can get sleep fine, but it's going to affect your deep sleep and your REM sleep, and then it's going to make you feel like shit, right? 100%.
I mean, in terms of sleep as well, and testosterone in general, there's a few supplements and things you can take, which are worth.
What subs are you on?
So I take a couple. I'm on a zinc glycinate, magnesium L-threonate, which I'm having really good results with in terms of just sleep quality.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, just the wild dreams you have on the
crazy.
magnesium L-threonate. Because I think it's one of the, I think I could be wrong, but the most bioavailable form of magnesium that crosses the blood-brain barrier. And I'll go on a rant in a second just about supplements.
Yep.
Especially the Healtheries brand. So what am I on? I'm on magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, I mean, we don't get too much sun in the Wellington summers, so a bit of vitamin D, creatine, boron.
Is your boron orange?
Yes.
Yeah, buzzy.
Yeah. Is yours?
Yeah, well, I got a new one from iHerb and it's orange.
Are you in the blue container?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's got riboflavin or something in it.
True.
I mean, this is just a side rant, but I was on that other boron. My piss was fine.
Yeah.
Clear,
and now it's yellow.
Yeah, now it's yellow as. So it must be that riboflavin.
Yeah. It must be the boron. So, I mean, those are the basis ones. There's a few other things you can take, like Tongat Ali and the other one, how do you say that? Fedosia.
Agrestis, I think.
Yeah, like their studies have shown they naturally can increase your testosterone and a few things like that. But just on the topic of like supplements, something I've got into this year is just kind of looking into them a little bit. Was looking at I bought some magnesium from the supermarket from the Healtheries brand. I was like, sweet, I'll be getting my magnesium. And I had a look on the back and the ingredients, and it's made of magnesium oxide 100%. And if you do research on it, only like 3 or 4% of that absorbs into the body. So you're getting fuck all from it, really.
Yeah.
And so and that cost me like $30,
What do you reckon your body does with the rest of it? Just
can't absorb it. Yeah, disposes it. You piss it out. So I was real dirty on that. So I think if you're looking at getting vitamins, make sure you see what's in the ingredients and just make sure they are bioavailable and absorbable into your body. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just wasting money. Like that Healtheries magnesium is literally a waste of your money because you can absorb 4% of it, which is...
And it's so sad, bro, because all the ones that all the modern people like Herman, Peter T and stuff recommend, you literally can't get it from supermarket shelves.
You have to get them online. iHerb, it's a good one if you're in New Zealand. They sell a lot of good stuff on there. So
Aussie as well. I think Lou uses iHerb.
Yeah, so...
But even pharmacies, bro, you go into a pharmacy and you're like, do you have Tonga Ali or Fedosia? And they're like, nah, what's that?
Yeah, no idea. Yeah. No idea. A lot of... the more kind of things I listen to, the less I trust doctors. Yeah. Which is a bold statement, but I talk to so many people and they're just, you're telling them what's wrong. They're literally Googling your symptoms. Yeah.
Well, they have like a doctor's Google thing, right?
Oh, I remember I went to the doctor a few years ago. I'll tell the story. I had a marijuana brownie and it didn't work. Like I ate half of it. It didn't work. And I was like, fuck this. I have another half. And it... it's
a rookie mistake,
all hit me at once. And fuck, I had this... I was literally probably feeling like out of it for probably a good like month and a bit. Just like... it's called... You can have a look at it. It's called weed or marijuana-induced depersonalization. It's just like you see yourself from the outside. Real hard to explain unless you're in that state. And I went to the doctor. I was like, this is what's going on. They're like, you need to be on antidepressants. Here's these. And I was like, what? Yeah. And they gave me a bunch of antidepressants. I did not take them. I was like, oh, fuck that. I don't need that. And, I did... Within a month or two, it phases off. It's just one of those things, but yeah.
Yeah, you'd think they would ask, or did they ask you, like, are you exercising? Are you drinking water? Yeah. How's your sleep? Yeah, what's your diet like?
All this shit, and they just, they're like, you're depressed or something, here's these antidepressants. I was like, what the heck? I didn't say I'm depressed. I just said I'm feeling like brain fogged and just real out of it.
It's sad. It's sad that we can't trust our medical system, mate. Yeah. Because I know myself and like a few of the other boys are the same. You just go to the doctor. I know my old doctor, health and nutrition probably wasn't her strong suit. No. But if you went for like a skin disease or you had like a chest infection, she was pretty good. Yeah. Like she would know straight away, oh yeah, that's this, that's that. But yeah, health and nutrition, it would just be pills that they'd prescribe and that's it.
No, exactly. So, I mean, it's super hard to get in to see one anyway, right? So. Yeah.
All right. On your testosterone thing, what about deodorants? Have you been doing some research on them?
Yeah. I mean, the shit in them just, not good for you, right? Not good at all. I've switched to natural deodorant, which is yours like a block?
Yeah.
It's quite hard to put on.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, if you shower good in the morning and in the evenings,
you don't think you need it?
I don't think you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird one, because it's more for like others, I guess.
Yeah.
But I find, because I never used to use roll-on, and now when I use it, I'm like, I don't know if my skin really likes this directly onto it,
No, I think Paul Sedino reckons just put a bit of apple cider vinegar on. Yeah. It does the trick. I mean, as long as
I wonder what he smells like though.
I mean, as long as you're not reeking of BO, I'm sure you'll be fine. I mean, I've had no complaints, so
yeah. Because there's lots of phthalates, right, in some deodorants, and aluminium, I think, as well.
And receipts as well. Here's the receipts.
Tell us about that. I was blown away when you told me that.
So there's I did a lot of research into receipts. Thermal paper receipts you get from the supermarket or just buying something. Would you like your receipt, sir? And they give you your receipt. They have so much BPA in them. I did a little collation of studies. I sent it to you. I did 15 studies in there, and all of them showed that when you're touching receipts, the BPA is absorbed into the body, and it's particularly bad for the females because it binds to the estrogen, the BPA.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the studies did focus on checkout, people that work at checkouts at supermarkets or retail workers that are just constantly touching receipts.
Yeah. I remember in your study it kept saying the occupational worker.
Yeah.
Like the occupational worker.
So I mean, imagine you're a checkout chick and you're just touching receipts all day. The amount of BPA you must be getting into because people often forget testosterone is the primary sex hormone, and not just males but also females.
Yeah.
So it's not good. I told the boys this the other day. I went to the supermarket. Didn't go through the self-checkout. I went through the normal one, and they're actually wearing gloves, which stops the BPA. And I asked about it. I was like, "Oh, why do you wear the gloves? Is it for touching the receipts?" She's like, "No, it's for packing the meat." And I was like, "Oh, well, it's good because you're doubling down. You're not absorbing all the BPA that you get from the receipt." She just literally looked at me. She's like, "Okay, thanks." And she put her head down.
Like, you're crazy, bro.
I looked at me like I was a fucking loony tune. And I get how it sounds, like the government are controlling our minds kind of thing. I sound like a lunatic, but it's true. If you just look at the studies showing these things, it's pretty frightening.
I had it the other day at the airport. So you told me about that, and I did some research on it. And apparently airplane boarding passes and those tickets and stuff for your bags are the same. So for the first time ever, I went to like the New Zealand check-in to get them to do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, keep checking my bags for me. And like, I actually felt bad, bro, because she's like touching them, putting it on, but she has no idea. And then anyway, first time I ever use it, get to Christchurch and my fucking bag's lost.
Yeah,
They're like, didn't come to Christchurch, stuck in Wellington.
And had all your supplements in it too.
I had all my sups. Had my milk bottle to get my raw milk.
The raw milk, something you got me on, and it sucks at the moment because the farm I use, they're what's the word? Regenerating the cow or resting the cows to get milk. So
resting the girls
out of the raw milk at the moment, but yeah.
How crazy is it? How hard is it to get raw milk in New Zealand?
Harder to get drugs. Harder than getting drugs. It was. What do you have to do? You have to find a supplier. And then they send it to a location. You have to go to the location within a certain time period, sign a form. You can't be late between that time period. You have to pick it up within a certain time. You have to bring a chili bin.
Yep.
Just to get a couple of litres of raw milk, It's crazy.
It is nuts, man. It's good going down south because I think it's illegal to on-sell it in New Zealand. So you can sell it direct from a farm or I guess direct for you to pick up.
Yeah.
But obviously in the South Island, there's heaps of farms, so it's like every little town I go to.
It's raw milk adventures. You call it,
I love it. It's good fun.
Yeah. So
you meet like-minded people, I guess, when you're in there.
100%. So I'm waiting for July till the cows have milk again. So
yeah, and an interesting fact on raw milk is it's got what does it have? Lactase in it, which is the enzyme you need to digest lactose. So lots of people are like lactose intolerant, including myself. But like I can scale 800 mils / a litre of raw milk and my stomach's fine.
Yeah, but what's the reaction when you tell people, I'm drinking raw milk? In my experience, always like, oh, doesn't that taste bad?
Yeah. Well, mine's like, oh, you can get real sick from that, eh? Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I've never got sick from it. Like,
no.
I think the reason people got sick was because it was 100 years ago, like dirty buckets and...
Yeah. Well, that's what you told me, right? It's not the actual milk. It's the sanitary conditions it was in, right?
Yeah.
Or unsanitary conditions it was in.
Yeah, like the old school stainless steel milk buckets, and then you don't clean that right, it's got bacteria in it, and then you put milk in it, and then obviously it's going to spread.
100%.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. I mean, yeah, have you got sick? No. So,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's all, you got to put a bit of faith in the farmer or the place you're getting it from, but other than that,
is true.
You're not going to get sick unless they're, keeping it in unsanitary conditions.
I saw one of the ones down south, a video on what they do, and they put I think there's an iodine, which is sanitizer.
Yeah.
They put it on their udder, is that what it's called? Before they milk it.
Iodine's real good if you've ever got like a bacterial infection in your throat, like a sore throat. If you put a little bit because mouthwash is another one that kills not only the good bacteria, not the bad bacteria, but the good bacteria, so I don't use it too much. But if I have a sore throat, I'll use an antibacterial one with iodine in it, and it sorts that, kills that bacteria real fast.
Yeah. All right, next question for you. What do you reckon the importance of being a man is in today's culture?
Oh, this is an interesting one. I'm more classical thinking in the sense that a male should protect and provide for the family, but more old school thinking. High testosterone.
Yeah.
Be able to provide and protect. So just not really being a wuss and a simp, in simple terms, you got to be able to put in the hard yards and be able to protect and provide for your family. I'm very old school thinking, and I prefer the old school thinking.
It's crazy that we've gone away from that as a society, right? Like if you told that to, I don't know, 50 people on the street, you'd probably get a lot of weird reactions like, oh, that's so old school, blah blah blah.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like, what do you mean? That's how it should be.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how many people, I guess, forget about their roles of being a man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, you see a lot of just interesting characters out there in today's society that wouldn't be considered very manly in my eyes. No,
but I feel like there's it's a hard one, man, because there's a lot of things wrong with the world, but I almost wonder if it's because we're there's not enough real men out there.
Oh, 100%. And there's so much. What's the word I'm looking for? Just like runts of the litter. Just fucking doing bad deeds and shit. There's no value. I think a very important thing of being a man is just having good morals.
Yeah.
That's something I haven't actually said when we've talked about this before. It's just good morals and good values. There's a lot of how do I put this? A lot of just bad people out there,
Yeah. And it's like we're not saying that we're not saying that this is a man's world and men run the world, but it's like females clearly have their place too.
Yeah, 100%.
And I guess they have their role in society, which is a big role. Even seeing it with Taylor being pregnant, it's like, I think that's a key thing for females though, is to just nurture.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of just lazy, unmotivated, people out there, and I think as a man, you need to have discipline, be motivated.
Yeah. I think you'll succeed too in this day and age if you do all those things. Because when you look around, there's so many people that don't do it.
No.
So surely if you're the one, like even you training combat sports, competing, you're like pushing yourself, you're probably going to learn lots of life lessons from doing that. That others won't learn.
In my eyes, there's a lot of people just not living up to their potential, so to speak. And just like male, just vaping, pub every night, all that sort of shit. Just not
even being not like addicted to social media, right?
Yeah, even that, social media, addicted to social media, addicted to the online world, not taking vaping.
You're being an NPC.
Yeah, literally, that's the way.
You got to be like a playable character. Do it yourself.
Character, like not exercising, not bettering yourself, and I'm more just, as I said, classical thinking in the sense that a man should be able to protect, provide, have a range skill set, good morals. I mean, a lot of people would fucking sell their own mothers over for cash. A lot of that's what I mean when I say there's a lot of runts or the litter out there. Just poor excuses for people, you know.
Yeah, I think it's real important to just push yourself, which I think the boys do real well.
Yeah,
us boys do.
100%.
And we like to check each other too, right?
Oh, you got to keep yourself in check, and it's easy to fall off the path, so to speak. You know, there's so many temptations out there. You know, drinking alcohol, being lazy, you know, all that harder.
Well, even I mean, obviously we're all quite fit and stuff like that. But I was talking to Patty about us in the sauna. It's like we say the path and we think of like physical exercise and stuff. But I think also pushing yourself in every realm of life. Yeah, which we're doing more, I think, nowadays. But it's like, you know, business is important in a way.
100%.
Money rules the world. It's like what are you doing financially to better yourself, your family?
100%. And then the sense of you know, being a man, being able to provide for your family. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even work, you know. Yeah. They're on the dole or just not doing what a man should be doing, you know.
No. Like we watched 1883 after you recommended it.
Oh, great show.
Some real men in there, eh?
Oh, 100%. You know, leading the way, leading their family through the Great American Plains to a new life, you know? Yeah. The things a man should be doing. And it's such a complex question. It goes very deep. I mean, but it does. Today's society, there's so many distractions, and even going back to, you know, testosterone getting lowered is not good. I mean, it's a different topic in its entirety, unless you're purposely trying to lower your test for whatever reason. There is no reason why we should be having low testosterone, you know? Yeah. We should be wanting our testosterone to be as high as possible. You thrive in all areas of life. You perform better, you think better, you sleep better. Yeah. And I think I was listening to a podcast, and China at the moment are trying to re-masculine their men by, you know, they're cutting out shit in the water, cutting out plastics, trying to, you know, make their men more manly, really. Yeah. You know, there's so many distractions, you know, video games and shit, and drinking, and I don't drink unless it's a very special occasion these days, and it's interesting being in the business world, because, you know, there's Friday night drinks, and then I was like, oh, why you're not having a drink, and you're like, oh, nah, don't drink unless it's kind of a special occasion, or I just say I don't drink. Yeah, it's way easier to just say, oh, I don't drink. And they look at you like you're a fucking lunatic, and it's I had a very fun teenage years, and, you know, early 20s, and I did my, you know, lots of drinking, and I regret nothing. It was great time, you know, being a little shit teenager, you know, stealing alcohol from the alcohol cupboard and going to sneaking out to parties and stuff. You know, that was all a great pastime, but I don't need alcohol anymore to have fun or to socialize. Well, I reckon that's the key, is you get so used to drinking on a night out the piss that you think that's the only way you can have fun. Yeah. I mean, I know so many people, not so much in my circle of friends, but just people, you know, I work with and stuff. Every weekend they'll go get on the piss, get themselves a bag, you know. It's sad, it's just the NZ culture though. Yes. Because you look at those Russian boys, like even Khabib and all that, they clearly are having fun all the time. You see it in their videos. 100%. But it's like none of them drink, and none of them have ever drunk. No, they're having so much fun too, you know. Like, just the simple things, like they'll go have a swim or go jet ski or something, you know, horse riding or archery, and they're having a good time. And as I said, like, I had a good time drinking when I was younger. It was super fun. I wouldn't trade it even now, because, you know, it made me who I am today. But nowadays I don't feel the need to do it. I definitely don't do any recreational drugs. Or anything. I just don't feel the need to. Really, it's not super fun for me anymore, you know. And I think once you've got your mind switched on and you like go to a party, especially for me these days, it's like, fuck, this is not for me, eh? Yeah. You know, like, I've felt that in the last couple of years too, especially if you're sober, You look around, you're like, like 100%. It's just not for me. Just like the type of people. I mean, you kind of are who you hang around, right? Yeah. Or who you surround yourself with. So I prefer not to engage in that world, so to speak, too much. I mean, you know, a special occasion, wedding or a stag do, or, you know, celebrating something, I'll definitely have a few drinks, but every weekend, definitely not. Probably won't take many these days to get your pissed, eh? Flip no, man. I mean, I think I've drunk once in the last year and a half, and that was at a work conference. Yeah. And even that, man, I was hungover for like a week and a bit.
Well, that's the thing. It ruins the next day, right?
Well, yeah.
It's like you take Saturday night, you're going to stay up till 4 a.m. and then all of Sunday, you're not going to train that day. You're probably going to eat unhealthy.
Oh, exactly. You get takeaways.
And then Monday comes around, you're still feeling shit.
Oh, exactly. And man, like I love, Sunday. I only get 2 weekend days a week. And I definitely like making the most of my Sunday, going for like a bushwalk or something. It's pretty hard to do when you're feeling like absolute shit. You wake up, it's like 11. I remember when we did that trip to the boys trip we did down south. I remember we had a big night out in Queenstown. We literally woke up and we're like, it's 1 p.m. We're like, what the fuck? We just wasted the day.
That was a crazy trip, bro. That was what, like 10 days or something?
10 days.
With the boys.
Yeah, I wasn't even meant to go, but Louis pulled out and I was like, fuck, I'll take his space. And oh man, I'm 100% so glad that happened because it was just the best time.
I remember we had to get our way onto the ferry. You had to like fake your ID and you put up your Facebook.
That's right.
Like, we need to see a picture of him on Facebook.
That's right. You needed a fucking ID to get onto the ferry between the North and South Island. I mean, we got over that hurdle and it was a great time. We did the Milford Sounds track 4 days.
55 Ks.
Yeah, that was after a big few days on the drink as well.
Oh, bro, we just went on the rack the whole time.
Nah, it was a great trip. It was awesome.
We always think weren't going to make it, bro, in Queenstown because you were out till like 4 a.m. that night before.
Yeah, that's right. That was
and then you just sleep in every car ride.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, me and Money's in the back sleeping every nap trip we had. But here's a question for you based on that. Do you think in today's society, especially, living in the city, we've lost touch with, going out in nature?
Yeah, I think
things
so.
like that.
Well, it's the concrete jungle, eh?
Yeah.
Lots of people love the concrete jungle, but personally, I don't understand it, eh?
No, I don't understand the 9 to 5 life at all, eh? Like, I mean, currently in it, and so are you, but it's definitely not something I see myself doing for the rest of my life at all, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you feel it when you go out in the bush, even if you go hunting. You just get like humbled by nature.
Oh, heck
the big mountains, like, and then it's so peaceful as well.
So peaceful. No car making noise. You can hear, the stream. You can hear the
fresh air.
The air. It's clean, very clean. And I think we're lucky in New Zealand. We've got some pretty nice spots.
Hunting paradise.
Hunting paradise they call it. And I think, I mean, I've been hunting with you a few times when you go into some of those hunting stories. But I think being out, because we've got the great walks, but I honestly prefer being out just in the bush, yeah, but there's not all the tourists and not, I mean, nothing. I do like the great walks and they're great, but just like proper peace.
Well, it's cool when you're not on a carved track because you're literally in the bush, walking cobwebs in your face.
Oh heck yeah, Still remember that hunt we went on? It was one of your first ones, and fuck.
It was the first one. It was sort of the first one.
Scaling some pretty dangerous territories.
Yeah.
So I remember it was a Friday night. Even getting up there in Connor's car, we drove up a logging track made for big fucking trucks, right? And I was shitting
And it was like
myself.
we weren't meant to be up there either.
Connor's car was just skidding, and all I could hear was just the rocks fucking going up.
Two-wheel drive.
Oh man, his car's skidding all over. I thought we were gonna fucking fall off the road, off the logging track.
I'm actually glad that Higgy was in the front because I felt a bit more comfortable. He was like the F1 driver, the passenger being like left, right.
Oh man, that was just the tip of the iceberg, right? I mean, we got into the got dropped off at the top of the logging track, and we just cut through some serious bush. Through private property to start.
Yeah, and it was pissing down with rain, windy.
Right. I lucky had that army gear I picked up from the actual army, so that was kept me nice and warm and dry. And then we were scaling a cliff face not even an hour later when we went down.
It took us like 5 hours to get to our tent spot too.
Oh man,
it looked super close on the map, but it definitely wasn't.
So I remember we were on that cliff face, literally like looking down. I was like, "Fuck! If I fell, I'm dead." And I kind of got stuck down because you were a bit higher up than I was, and I got kind of stuck down. And the only way to get up was literally to put all my weight into these little roots to pull myself up. I'm literally putting my life in the hands of these roots. Like if they break, because I had a big backpack on, of course, and the weight of my bag goes backwards, and I had the gun in one hand. I'm literally, if I take a tumble, I'm gonna eventually get to that cliff face and fucking fall off. So
yeah, I think we got to one point where we were scaling down and we're like, all right, we need to go back up because this is fucking dodgy.
Yeah, that's right.
And we went back up and then went back to the ridge a little bit, and then it was a little better.
Yeah, well, I was much better until we found when we needed to get to the ground, and it's hard to explain if you're not if you weren't there, but literally it was just this steep, like, how would you describe it? Like a steep.
Yeah, I guess it was just a steep mountain face.
And we had to scale down, and literally we were just butt scooting from tree to tree, picking up some serious pace.
Bro, it was funny, because we were like having to like get our breath together, get our balls up, and like literally just sprint to a tree and grab onto it.
Oh, 100%. And it was literally like I was reaching out for these trees, because if you miss them, you're just going to slide to the bottom to these big sharp rocks, which ideally you don't want to do. So literally grabbing these tree roots and like nearly taking my shoulder out. I still got a scar on my shin from just colliding with a tree.
Bro, I fell in that onga bush too, and I was like, Monty, I'm stuck.
The stinging needle. And we're literally having to calculate our jumps. All right, I got to jump from here to here. If I miss, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But hey, it was super fun, and we came out all right.
It was good. So it was a good story at the end of it.
There's been so many, I mean, even prior to the hunting days, just, our normal hikes, we've got into a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, we got lost on Nelson Lakes, and the poles that direct you to the next pole were snowed under. So we got lost for 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Bro, they're like, what, like 1 meter, 1.5 meter poles? Yeah. They're pretty big, and it was thick snow.
And I was in Kmart shoes. That I got from Kmart. No hiking shoes. And this is to say, the night before, an Indian couple had to get rescued because they got trapped in the snow. Yeah,
bro, they were lucky, man, because they called 111 and they had service, but we didn't have service the whole time.
Very lucky. So I'm in like my Kmart shoes, and the snow's getting into them. My feet are freezing, and we're probably like not too long, but 4 hours out from the car. But maybe it's a bit more than 4 hours. I can't remember.
Well, I feel on the way up there was thick snow, but you were like in the zone that day. You were like shirt off. Fucking got real sunburned.
Do you remember what happened? I got severely sunburned because I didn't realize the sun reflects off the snow, and I was just shirtless the whole time. I was just just my whole torso sunburnt as from trekking in the snow.
And do you remember when we got to the hut? We were saying, they were like, which way are you going tomorrow? Are you going back down that route or the other route?
Cascade, eh?
Yeah, the Cascade was like the dangerous route with like glaciers, and that was our plan. And they like wouldn't even put that option on the table. They're like, so you going this way or that way? And
grass,
we were like,
grass tree or something. Yeah, that's
we were thinking the Cascade, and they look at us like we're fucking crazy.
Oh, but I mean, you got to respect nature, but I feel like, we've definitely conquered a few of our missions. I remember we've told people along the way on the tracks like what we're planning to do, and they're like, you can't do that. Do you remember when we nearly got frostbite on Taranaki?
Yeah, that was crazy.
We did a 3-day hike in 2 days, or maybe it was a 2-day hike in 1 day, something like that.
No, we did the 3-day in 2 days.
And I remember we were stopped at that first hut that you're meant to stop, but that was just our halfway point. And like, are you staying here for the night? No, we're trekking up to the next hut. And like, at this time...
Yeah, and we hadn't even done the detour to that waterfall yet. We're like, and we're going to detour to the waterfall. They're like, no, you can't do that.
You're crazy. You're going to freeze. But we're like, we'll be right. And we trekked through, and it got cold, didn't it?
Yeah. Bro, I remember because it was just me and Dill who had headlights. Classic you and Money's, but unprepared. And I remember it got dark and windy and cold, and for the first minute we were like going, cracking up, and then 10 minutes later we're all silent, like shivering, like, oh fuck,
there was frost on our bags. It was that cold.
Yeah, when we're setting up the tent, my bag literally frosted over in like the 10 minutes.
And what happened to our tent?
Oh, that was bloody Dill, eh? Yeah, boys, I got a big-ass tent for us. Yeah. It was like this high-ass camping tent, not designed for wind. Middle of the night, got caved in. Water was pouring in.
I remember all just sitting there awake, not saying anything. The tent was literally in our face because it
was like
collapsed.
3 a.m. or something, eh?
Yeah, and of course, as we're good citizens, day after, we took the broken tent with us, but that was a mission to carry.
Bro, I remember waking up, looking over at Dill, and he was in like fetal position. Yeah. Like shivering. I was like, bro, you all good, Dill? And like Money's had to give him my pat cover to put over his sleeping bag because all the water was pouring in on him.
It was a grim time.
And all you boys make fun of me for all my gear, but I was fucking warm, man. It was comfy.
Definitely not my Kmart gear. I mean, I've leveled up since, but it was always definitely underprepared on hikes. But hey, live to tell the tale.
Yeah, I'm keen for the next one. I can see how your big bag goes.
Oh yeah, I got from But I think the boots I wore on a bushwalk not long ago, and they were real good. So I don't know how they would hold up bush bashing over different terrains, but on a marked track it was fine.
Yeah, it was a bit different going out bush bashing, like really test the boots.
That's the thing when you're bush bashing. There's so many dangers. I mean, if you're solo and you break your leg, and you have like a personal locator beacon.
Yeah,
you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, something about solo hunts though. It's I don't know, it feels good.
Nice and peaceful, clear the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Clear the head.
I thought when I was gonna go out for my first solo hunts that I would be in my head the whole day, just like thinking about shit. But it's quite the opposite. I wasn't thinking about anything. You're just in the zone.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, I guess especially hunting because you're like trying to hunt, right? So you're just focused.
That's the thing about New Zealand. We've got so many nice natural spots, and we've got some awesome nature.
Yeah, I went out. It was fun going out with the boys last weekend.
Oh yeah. Down just the local one.
The
winery track, yeah.
It was good too. I think it was Tom's first time hunting. It was a shame we didn't get anything, but I think because they did a 1080 drop that in the northern Rimtucker ranges, and we were sort of pushing north. So
these winter months as well, you don't get much sunlight, do you?
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially with the winter solstice yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or Friday.
The other day, the winter solstice.
Shortest day of the year.
Bro, it's crazy. It's like 8 a.m. sunrise and then like 5 p.m. sunset.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Yeah.
I mean, going back to jiu-jitsu, I find so many people just don't train in the winter. And I suppose that's with a lot of sports that, one, it's cold. Two, it's,
dark.
It's freezing, it's cold. You want to just wrap up and watch Netflix,
Yeah.
But hey, that's where the champions are made, Got to get in no matter the condition.
I find that even in the last couple of weeks, get home from work, sit on the couch, it's cold, when you get in your warm house, you're like, oh fuck, gotta go back out there.
Well, do you remember, footy trainings back in the day, it'd be pitch black and you'd be under the headlights, it was fucking freezing.
But I don't know, for me, man, I used to love training footy in that condition.
Do you?
Yeah. Because footy is, you start running around and get warm pretty fast.
Oh, same with jiu-jitsu and anything, but footy training, I remember when we played under 17s, they wouldn't cancel the trainings when it was pissing down, so you just have to train in the fucking rain.
Well, it's different, I guess, when you have turf. When you train on the turf in the rain, it's better.
Well, most places have indoor, a lot of places, not most, have indoor facilities now anyway, so they're always handy.
It's the wind, I think, that's killer with the footy. Playing on a windy day is shit.
But I mean, that even goes back to, about being kind of a man. It's just, pussying out of a training or something you want to pursue as a goal, but pussying out because it's too cold or too dark, it's just such a poor excuse. Yeah.
Doesn't Goggins talk about it? There's a part of your brain that you can increase by doing things you don't want to do.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, even jiu-jitsu, I barely miss a training session unless I'm super sick or injured. But part of me wants to skip training nearly every day, fucking tired.
Yeah.
Don't want to train. But you just got to kind of get yourself there. And I think the hardest part is just getting there. And once you're there, you're good. And it's the same, just being disciplined is something I think just so many men lack.
Yeah, discipline's so key.
And it's things like, I was thinking the other day about fast food. I was like, why do so many people eat fast food? And I thought of the list. It's one, they're everywhere. Two, they are relatively cheap compared to even going to the supermarket. It's cheaper sometimes.
Yeah, I'd say it is cheaper.
It's cheaper. It's easy in the sense that you don't have to cook it. You don't have to clean up the dishes. It's readily available, as I said. And four, I mean, this one's more subjective, but it fucking tastes good.
Yeah,
and it does. I have a very weak. I'll tell you in a story about why I've been put off McDonald's forever, but KFC, I just have such a weak spot for it. It's just so easy. I can just go through the drive-through, cheap. I can just buy it. But I'll tell you, there's so much going back to low testosterone and what's in our food and shit. There's so much shit in those processed foods. Seed oils. The list goes on. The ingredients. There's 32 ingredients in a McDonald's bun. You know that?
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
And this is why I went off McDonald's. This is a bit of a gross story, but the boys know back in the day I wasn't the most cleanest person with my cars. A few bits of rubbish and whatnot in there. And this is gonna. I'm a changed man. I keep a relatively clean vehicle these days. Relatively.
Do you reckon Seth would agree?
No, definitely not. But there's no food or fucking rubbish in there. It's more clothes and shit like that. But back when I was in uni, my favorite meal was a triple cheeseburger plain from McDonald's. So just the meat and the cheese. And I remember one time I must have only eaten half a burger and just put it back in the package and fucking throw it in the car. I remember it must have got lost under the seat, and I found it 6 months later. No mold, no nothing, rock hard, everything, the patty, the cheese, the burger,
nuts, man.
Exactly how I left it 6 months ago. Obviously I couldn't eat it because it was so hard now, but how much shit would that be sprayed with, or how many chemicals on that, and you're putting that into your body. It's ugh.
Well, I think especially with those buns that they literally don't go off. If there was no cheese or anything on them, you could probably sit on your table for a year.
But even the meat and the cheese was fine. That was fine. No mold, no nothing.
Well, I think because Taylor used to work at Macca's, and they have different grades of meat. I think they call that the tenor one. I don't really understand it, but it's some shit quality meat for those triple cheeseburgers.
I bet.
I think if you get the quarter pounders or whatever, it's
just
more premium beef.
They're probably just all filled with seed oils, know. And
bro, seed oils is another thing, man. It's literally in everything.
Everything. And if you really look at the history of seed oils, it's quite concerning because it was made as an engine lubricant or to light on fire oils and things like that.
I think it was made during the war, World War II.
Yeah.
To help lubricate ships and stuff.
Yes, shit like that. And the people that made the seed oils, they paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to the Heart Foundation to endorse that product as healthy. And as I said, with the study I was mentioning before, I don't have all these studies on me right now, but up until recent times, everyone blamed the enemy on cholesterol being eggs, red meat, and things like that.
Butter,
they're
fat.
They're what causes heart attacks and etc. But it's if you do the research, they don't.
Yeah, well, it's because seed oils, they market it as low fat alternative.
Yeah,
but it's it's literally just poison. It doesn't have to have fat in it to be bad for you.
No, it's I don't know why it's put into food. Well, I think it's all about the money, but
and I guess it's now
cheap.
It's easy and it's cheap. Yeah,
and it's just if you look at the ingredients, it's in fucking everything.
Yeah,
everything. I think I'd say the last 2 months I've been very conscious of what I've been eating, and I've been eating very clean. I've been eating fantastic, feeling fantastic.
Yeah,
feeling fantastic. I mean, totally eliminating seed oils is pretty hard, especially if you eat out every now and then. But yeah, I'd say I eat no seed oils except for maybe sauces every now and then because they're probably the main ingredient in a lot of sauces, right?
Yeah, mayonnaise, bro. I never eat that shit.
Yeah, 77% seed oil.
Crazy.
Yeah, things like that. But and I've been feeling fantastic ever since switching. My energy levels, if we go back to a year ago or maybe even a little bit longer than that, I'd do my day at work, just be eating shit filled with all sorts. And I'd be like, fuck, by the time I get to training, I can't train, I need more energy. So I'd have a V at 6 o'clock, which is probably the worst thing for you just to get through a training session.
Yeah.
But these days, I don't need any caffeine, just eating clean, pure food. And I have so much energy. Even, at the end of training, I'm still going, still ready to roll a bit more just because I've been eating so clean.
And seed oils causes lots of inflammation too, right? So surely it's going to help with injury prevention and all that sort of thing.
I mean, I would advise anyone that is interested in their health just to, do a self-experiment. Cut out all processed shit and plastics for, 6 weeks and you'll feel the difference. I think even after a week of eating clean, you feel fantastic. And
even just simple tips. Obviously, eating out is very hard to avoid seed oils. But what oil are you using at home? If you're using rice bran oil, something like that, will get rid of it.
100%.
What do you want? Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil?
I mean, I just cook in butter these days. I don't even use I don't even cook in. I used to cook in olive oil, but I just prefer butter or animal fats.
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm cooking in ghee at the moment, which is clarified butter.
Oh yeah.
The
animal fats were good too.
Yeah, I'm going to try that next. I think it's beef dripping or whatever, beef tallow.
That's what we had.
I think Patty was telling me he's using pork fat.
Yeah, it's all the same, right? It's just...
Well, Taylor sometimes cooks in like duck fat potatoes.
Yeah, gonna get that the other day, but
yeah, they're pretty good, but it is quite intense. I don't know. I like butter. Butter tastes amazing.
But it's just simple things. Like you see people just douse their food in canola oil.
Shocking.
It's like, oh fuck. I mean, it's tempting in the sense you go to the supermarket, you see like olive oil like $12 for a bottle, and then like a big bottle of fucking canola oil.
Probably in like a shitty plastic bottle too.
100%. $6. You're like, sweet, I'll just grab that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're not educated, you'd have no idea, right? Like
that's the sad thing about all of it, bro. Even the low test thing.
Yeah.
Is like, I don't know, if anything, the government's failing us because most people don't know what we're talking about. No. It's like, you don't know grabbing a receipt. I only just found out the other day about that. But it's like, that's pretty significant.
And how many years have we been doing that for, So,
yeah. Like, even like if you're a pregnant lady, bro, that's so sad if you're handling receipts like all day. 100%. It's like going through to your child and then it's going to affect your child.
Lots of things in the society that are definitely negatively affecting our health. Yeah. That just people don't even know about, as you said. No idea.
Yeah.
No idea. I would no idea about receipts or fucking seed oils unless, you kind of look into it.
And for me, it's sad because it just makes me lose faith in, like, the government, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I don't trust what they tell me, which I don't necessarily like because it would be so much easier to just be able to trust them.
100%. Like the classic, you should only be eating red meat once a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that. I eat steak every night, man.
Bro, I'm like, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like 400-gram steaks every night. Yeah. Like a pack of biltong during the day.
You feel good. Yeah.
I do feel good. But I hope I don't have some fucking heart disease in 10 years, eh?
Nah, I mean...
Like, we told you.
Yeah, nah, you were wrong all along.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's not those seed oils.
Nah, definitely love my red meat. Hey, I'll probably eat it every night.
Yeah.
Every night. I eat, chicken during the day. And
well, you see some people now on the carnivore diets, right? So they're literally eating meat every day too, and that's all they're eating.
A lot of them say they feel fantastic. I mean, do you eat a lot of carbs?
Yeah, I'd say I do eat a lot of carbs.
Oh, you eat a lot of fucking chocolate, eh?
That's my...
What's your hiking pack filled with when we go?
Bro, last time I had like 10 packs of biltong and I was just fucking munching that back. But yeah, definitely some chocolate.
10 packs of lollies as well?
Yeah, a couple of packs of lollies to share with the boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Rice, like we eat lots of rice.
Yeah, I eat lots of rice. You cooking in bone broth?
Yeah, I took your tip and it's actually pretty good. Good way to get extra protein in.
100. I haven't been able to find bone broth in weeks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's never on the shelf. Taylor got this one. It's a bit more expensive, but it's in the fridge. Shit. But yeah, I don't know. I've always eaten a lot of veggies, which I guess is carbs.
Yeah.
And always had like either potato or rice as like the side option. And
yeah,
then, like,
I'm the same. Kumara, I eat the kumara or potatoes.
Yeah, same.
Lots of mushrooms.
I love the kumara.
Lots of mushrooms. I reckon mushrooms are underrated, eh?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like mushrooms, but I'm like, fuck, they're delicious.
Do you reckon they're good for you?
I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah,
I have no comments on it. I fucking love them. I probably won't cut them out unless they're drastically killing me, but I love them on top of a steak. So.
Last night, bro, I bought a whole pack and I was thinking I'd half it with Taylor and she had none. I ate the whole pack
of mushrooms. Yeah, nice.
But when you cook them, they shrivel up so small, right?
Yeah, they do. Fucking hell, way too small.
Mean on top of the steak, though.
100%.
Yeah. What else? You got a Texas trip coming up? Tell us about that.
Just a little holiday with the missus. We're heading over to the States, going to Texas for them. I actually don't know. I think we've changed our plans so many times. So we're going to Texas, and that should be a bit of fun, eh? Got the ADCC World Open in Las Vegas. We're doing a few canyon trips. So we're doing Bryce Canyon, Zion National Park, and the Grand Canyons. We're hiring a car, so we're good to check out some American nature. I mean, it's a lot different. We've got New Zealand. We've got more green and bush over there, but over there it's all rocky kind of mountains. So keen to try find some snakes and shit like that.
Yeah. What sort of predators are over there?
I had a look at the animals. There's a lot of like these weird looking. They're sheep, but they look like fucking goats.
True.
They're actually sheep, but they look like goats. Forgot what they're called. Lots of snakes, tarantulas and shit like that.
Rattlesnakes and stuff.
Yeah, heaps of rattlesnakes.
Poisonous ones.
And what else? I don't know if they had wolves in that area. Could be wrong, but there a lot of lizards.
Mountain lions and stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Mountain lions. So I mean, I doubt I'll see any of those, but unless I trek deep enough off track.
Well, usually you don't see them, right? Like they just sneak up on you until.
I mean, that's quite touristy. The places, the things we're checking out, so I doubt we'll see anything crazy. I mean, a big dream of mine, or something I'll be real keen to do is like a bit of obscure travel to like, I'd love to go to the Florida Everglades and see like there's so much wildlife there, or to the Amazon, you know?
Yeah, that'd be wild, man.
I'd love to see all those serious predators.
I just listened to that Lex Friedman podcast with that Paul Rossellini.
Yeah.
And Lex went to the Amazon for like a week or two, and they did the 4-hour podcast in the Amazon.
Oh, I saw you send it on the chat, yeah.
Bro, like mid-podcast, there was like a snake come up, and then like he picked it up, and Lex was like holding it.
Oh, heck yeah, man. So that would be good fun. Like, I definitely want to travel to some obscure places, because I'm planning to do the ADCC trials next year.
Yeah.
And I'm secretly hoping it's in like fucking Kazakhstan or something nuts, man. Like, because it's Asia, it'd be the Asia region, Asia and Oceania. So I'm hoping it's not something mundane like fucking Australia, because I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
I want it to be like Kazakhstan or like Mongolia or some shit.
That'd be so cool.
There's just a lot of places, a lot of beautiful places in the world that are just people don't want to travel to, right?
Yeah.
They want to do the classic. Well, there's nothing I'd love to do because I haven't done Europe, but you got the classic Europes and
all the history and heritage over there.
Yeah, but I'd love to go to some real obscure places,
It's almost like dark tourism.
Yeah, oh, exactly. Like there'll be some hidden gems out there. So I'm hoping it's like Kazakhstan or something, because that'd be fun.
What else are you doing? Are you going to go to a gun range or something?
Yeah, go to a gun range. Want to find... I was looking at what to fire. I definitely want to do a classic AK-47, maybe like a submachine gun, MP5 or something. So definitely... it's not cheap, but definitely going to do that.
Fuck, it'll be crazy, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the old COD guns.
Yeah, 100%, so keen as to fire a fully automatic machine gun. So it's not something I've done yet, only single shots. So
yeah. Is Seth going to go as well, you think?
She'll probably come watch and take some photos, but I don't think she'll shoot anything. But keen as to do that. I did want to do a bit of jiu-jitsu training, but it's like right in the middle of ADCC and Craig Jones Invitational, so I think they'll all be doing their own kind of prep and doing their own little training camp. So I don't know how much training I'll get in, and to be honest, I think after the ADCC comp I'll just have complete time off. Haven't really rested properly since fucking probably the end of last year when I injured my lower back. So
yeah, I feel like it'll be a well-deserved rest for you.
Yeah, I definitely think some time off's good if you've been putting it in the yards, not after a couple of weeks of training. Be like, I have a week off now.
I was going to actually ask you, give me a rundown of like what is the perfect week of training for you?
Like ideally?
Yeah. All going well.
Ideally, because I do work in a fucking 8-hour job. Ideally, I'd love to... because I do like my lifting, but I do like to space, because I do lift and do jiu-jitsu in the same day, because I have to, but I do like to space it out as much as possible to give me a lot of recovery time. At the moment, I'm gymming right before jiu-jitsu, which isn't ideal, but I got to squeeze in my gym work somewhere. I'm not going to make excuses, extreme ownership. If I got a gym, I got a fucking gym. So, I mean, ideally, if all going to plan, I'll gym early in the morning, like 10, 11. I don't like gymming before food. So I do a weight session, and then in the evening I'll do jiu-jitsu. And I'll probably do jiu-jitsu Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, maybe Friday nights. And then gym 4 days a week. And then I'd love to get some recovery sessions in, just things like stretching and spa and sauna and things like that.
So Sunday's recovery for you.
Sunday. So after this, I'm going to head to the sauna tonight, I think. So
sauna hat.
So always sauna hat, man.
Yeah.
Always sauna hat. I started the revolution. So yeah, sauna hat on, electrolytes in my glass bottle.
Nice.
So that would be my optimal week, considering I do a 9 to 5 job. If I didn't do a 9 to 5 job, it'd be lots of training.
About wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Even striking, I love to get into. I mean, I probably could do some striking at the moment.
Yeah, but you were telling me you're thinking about it.
It's just fuck. I don't like to make excuses, but, I've got my fingers in so many different pies. It's hard to fit it all in while doing work.
Yeah.
So maybe, we'll see how we go, but up until this ADCC comp, we'll just focus on that. And
it'd be good to get you down, or even if you go to MTAR, whatever, but like even just once a week, I reckon.
100%. Just get a bit of pads going. I mean, a lot of the workshop boys are into their striking as well. Well, they're MMA boys now. They've fully transitioned into they're fucking hard to get down, because here's the thing, like they're doing people that are doing so much more wrestling training than jiu-jitsu, you know, actually getting them down is so hard.
Yeah.
So.
And then keeping them down too.
Yeah, just putting in work. When people put in work in areas that you aren't, then they just fucking exceed so fast. So.
But I reckon if you get into striking at NTI, there's going to be a few jits people that are going to want to smash you, eh?
You reckon?
They're like, now's my chance.
Yeah,
I can go hard on the feet.
I reckon, there's a few white belts that are giving some hard rolls, and then when I'm in their world, they're going to be like, all right, licking their chops, time to fucking teach this guy a lesson, some humility.
Because, I mean, we get that at training with the boxing boys come down and everyone's like, surely stay for Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Because it's like they sort of piece you up in boxing, but then in another realm, they're out of their depth.
MMA is such a hard sport because you have to, incorporate all of it. Boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling. It's like, fuck. What would you say is the most important martial art for a mixed martial arts fight?
Well, I would probably say striking is the most important.
Right.
Because, I mean, it always starts on the feet. And then, I guess, like, if you just...
Anti-wrestling, if you're a good striker. Yeah. I mean, that's what the city kickboxing boys do, right?
Yeah, I really like their method, eh? Like,
anti-wrestling.
If you got good takedown defense and you're a mean striker, you're going to be a pretty hard dude to beat.
Fuck yeah.
And even if you aren't that good at jits, like, if you just practice standing up, you know?
It's a different world. I've rolled so many of the MMA people I roll, when you take them, you do get them down, which is a mission in itself. They just stand back up, and it's like, for fuck's sakes.
That's the thing about jits people is... You sort of forget, but it's like they want to play the game.
Yeah.
Like if we were rolling, you took me down, I'd be like, okay, I'm playing bottom.
Yeah.
But the MMA guys are like, get up straight away.
100%.
Like sometimes even expose the back or whatever to get up. You know?
And they've got such good almost back defense as well sometimes because they're just so used to fucking giving up their back. It's actually hard to do anything and they shake you off. So I struggle. I really do struggle against the MMA guys. I mean, once you get into like a leg lock or on top of an MMA guy, you can do some damage, but
definitely.
In terms of getting to those positions, very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
What do you reckon is the most important?
I mean, like you say, every fight starts on the feet, so if you've got zero striking, someone just comes and fucking knocks you out, with a kick or you don't know how to defend. But MMA is a sport, it's a concoction of all of them, right? But like wrestling is, again, super important, because if you don't know how to stop a takedown and they take you down and just hold you there, you're in trouble. But yeah, I've got lots of respect for MMA fighters. Like, fuck, it's a lot harder than jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much to train. And like you say, if you have a full-time job, pretty hard to train like boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Especially if you work a labour job. Imagine that, like fucking you're a bricklayer.
But I guess you'd almost sacrifice the gym then, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're doing that shit during the day, it's like you don't need to go to the gym.
I mean, I get a lot of enjoyment out of lifting weights. I just love it. It's good fun.
Yeah, I like hitting the bench, but some other things not as enjoyable. It's just part of the grind.
But like, fuck, like even things like doing legs is fucking, it sucks. But I get enjoyment out of doing the hard tasks, I love it afterwards. It's like I don't want to do it, but fuck it,
That after feeling is always good for legs. Like when you walk around, you got sore legs. Like, had a good workout.
100%.
What do you reckon about jiu-jitsu in a street fight? How effective do you reckon it is?
1v1, very effective. Any more than 1v1, not effective at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you take someone down, you're on top of them, and their mate just comes and kicks you in the head. Not very effective. But if you're a one-on-one, like down an alleyway, and you take someone down, they're fucked.
Even like knowing you could probably just take a punch and then take them down, and then it's fucking
I think
all
it's
over.
One-on-one, very effective. But I always say the best martial art for a street fight is a 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, that's good.
Avoid the confrontation at all costs. I mean, most of the time, I think situations can be avoided. I think ego can get in the way sometimes.
100%.
And you find yourself... I mean, it's not only about protecting yourself. I mean, you could fucking smoke somebody. Say I got into a confrontation, took him down, I heel hooked him, broke his leg. Like, that judge, when that comes through, is going to go so hard on me because they know...
You're a trained fighter.
I'm a trained fighter. I'm just broken someone's leg, even if it's self-defense, I don't know. Like, I think avoiding confrontation is a first priority, but you should know how to defend yourself at all costs, I think.
I really like Jocko Willink's sell point on jiu-jitsu, which is, you can always run away from a confrontation, but as soon as someone grabs you, all of a sudden you can't run away. Nah. It's like, now you have to know how to grapple.
100%. I remember my very first time experiencing a martial art, a grappling martial art, was in high school. As you do, you get into a few scuffles at high school.
You did.
Yeah, as you did. I had zero training. I was just a, teenage boy.
High
testosterone, changing hormones, and as you do, you get into some lunchtime scraps. I remember I just got fucking judo thrown straight onto my back.
Who was that by?
Itai Mamwiro.
True.
I can't remember what happened. We had a scuffle over at a football game. And I think, we got into a scuffle, and he just fucking Hatagoshi'd me straight onto my back, knocked all the wind out of me, and just pinned me. And he's like, bro, just calm down. And I was like, yeah, fuck, all right.
Putting in place.
Literally just got humbled then and there. So, if you can do that to someone. I had nothing. I was pinned on bottom, all the wind knocked out of me. Fuck, if he wanted to, he could smash me. But lucky he was a good guy, so...
Good old Itai.
Yeah. Itai Mamwiro.
Also find with jiu-jitsu, bros, it's good for, de-escalating something.
100%.
If all you know is striking, it's if you get in a confrontation, you could probably smash that guy.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu, it's bro, calm down.
Yeah, you can put them, get their back off.
Exactly. Yeah. Even a standing rear naked, right? You don't need to put it on, but you're controlling them. Yeah. And then if they're scrambling, well, then you start squeezing, and then they'll probably stop. And
yeah, well, whenever I watch movies these days and you see there's a fight and they go to the ground, they instantly throw them. They instantly do a reversal.
Yeah.
And in real life, if you're a trained athlete and they go to the ground, you're just gonna pin them straight away, and they're not getting up anytime soon.
That in my YouTube algorithms, I like people in petrol stations in America, and then some jiu-jitsu guy takes them down, holds them down till the cops
There's
get
heaps
there.
of them. I mean, Ryan Hall did one where he's at a restaurant and he just mounted this guy. And he's like, dude, you gotta calm down. You're stuck now.
Yeah, imagine doing that Ryan Hall.
Well, nerdy little guy, eh? You're I'll smash this guy, and then he fucking pins you.
But I reckon it's that gift wrap. The gift wrap is mean, when you're on top, you got one leg over, and you're just holding their hand around their neck. They're just so stuck. That's
the self-defense system they taught at Valley BJJ back in the day.
True.
I mean, we don't. Yes, I don't think you need. If you just train jiu-jitsu generally, you don't need to train self-defense. I mean, fuck, look at all these self-defense martial arts.
Yeah. Well, that is self-defense, right? If you're a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, you clearly know
exactly.
Self-defense.
There's so many absolute bullshit martial arts out there, Aikido. Oh, fuck, I love watching on YouTube because it's just so bullshit.
Yeah.
But even, even things like karate, not to shit on people that do karate, but it's how effective is your karate going to be?
Yeah.
If I decided to fucking...
I think that it's weird. I think there's good elements of all martial arts.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially for kids.
Teaches discipline.
Yeah, just literally discipline alone for the kids is what they need. But I know, doing taekwondo myself, we would do some self-defense things, which were pretty effective, lapel grabs and stuff, but clearly lacking a lot of knowledge. If it ever got to the ground, you don't really know positions. 100%. Just even just teaching a knee on belly or something would have been good.
I mean, going back to my statement before about 100-meter sprint, you don't know if they're carrying a piece or a fucking knife, so you could take someone down, and the next thing your neck's getting shanked. So
exactly,
you just got to be careful out there in the concrete jungle.
I feel like New Zealand, fairly safe. It's definitely getting a lot less.
Auckland's there's some dodgy stuff going on. Lots of shootings, lots of stabbings, but compared to other places in the world, sure.
Yeah. I would like to think we're still the old school, just throw hands and then potentially shake it out afterwards.
Oh, I think that's what men should do if there's a scuffle. There's nothing wrong with a scuffle,
But I guess the real men back in the day, bro, they were having all the pistol battles in America.
Yeah. So it's a nice shootout.
Yeah.
But a good fist fight, I reckon, is good for the soul for a few, two boys at high school having an issue, just duke it out and the fist and shake it out afterwards,
Yeah. It's crazy though, because some people do not have that mindset.
Nah.
If I talk to some people at my work, they'd be shocked if it ever got physical. They've probably never been in a physical altercation in their life.
Well, yeah, I saw the other day, Logan Paul and that Bradley Martin, they agreed off camera, they're just going to go into a room and fucking scrap it out.
Mean.
They did. And it was off camera, no one will know what happened, but they're we had a scrap and that's that.
Bro, I reckon it's literally just part of being a male, eh?
Yeah, 100%. Fighting is in the DNA.
I know even, growing up, obviously, we went to school. I think I literally had, full-on scraps with every single one of the boys at some stage.
Yeah, 100%.
And then it's you just make up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Flip, yeah. There was, high school. There was a lot of fights at the high school.
Hard. Bro, I remember you back in the Marsland field. We play rugby. You just run it straight and then just start swinging hands.
Everyone knew. It was just straight hands. It would be,
Fuck, it'd be like, here we go, Monty started another scrap.
Here we go. They knew, though. They knew. They came. I remember I'd have the ball, and people wouldn't even tackle me, bro. They'd start punching me in the head.
It was bad, eh?
And I'd be like, what the fuck?
Lucky we were like little simps back then, and they probably weren't actually that serious, the punches and stuff. But
I remember, like, people wouldn't be tackling you. They'd just be fucking hitting you from, like, all angles. But
I remember that. Ran it straight, and I think it was that La'au guy. Yeah. And then he just started, like, hooking me, and I'm, like, on the ground. There's, like, 10 million kids kicking me and shit. I'm like, oh, damn.
To be fair, like, even though we were throwing hands and stuff, I don't think anyone threw, like, seriously vindictive hands, you know?
Yeah. Well, we were almost too weak to, like, do proper damage.
But I don't think anyone went into the mindset with, like, I actually want to fucking, like, kill him kind of thing. It was, I'll fucking drop him.
It was just fighting, right? Yeah. Even like back that reminds me back in the day, like Dill and what was his name?
Thomas Downs.
Yeah, that scrap, that was me.
It's a few good knees, but as I said, it's necessary. But I think learning a martial art is almost a cheat code, right? If you got into a scrap, because you can just fuck them up. Yeah,
and you really do feel like if they don't. We talked about it before, but if you roll like a fresh white belt, it's just you can literally do whatever you want to them.
Yeah, 100%. 100% after they stop spazzing.
Yeah. But I think people that have never trained don't understand that.
No.
People that don't train are so confident in their fighting abilities, even though they've never fought.
Yeah.
It's like I've had these like, friendly debates at work, and they're like, oh, I could smash you, blah, blah. I'm like,
you even get that
you don't even know what a fight is.
You even get that in the gym, like people that just hit weights, they like to think they're untouchable because they've got a bit of muscle. They add a couple of kilos of muscle and they're like, yeah, I'll fuck up anybody. But, they come to the jiu-jitsu gym, they last a couple of sessions, never see them again.
Yeah.
Hurts their ego.
A lot of big egos in the gym.
Once their ego. I mean, even yesterday, open mats, we had this big fella come through. And I said to him, I'm not a barbell, man. Like, he just keep trying to, like, just fucking bench press me off in every position. He's just gassing himself out. I'm not a barbell, man. Like, I'm not going to come off that easy.
Yeah, it's a tough one for the big boys because I do feel like it impacts your development a little bit, because you're just 100%. Relying on your strength too much.
100%. But man, being a big boy with some good technique, you're a scary man.
Yeah. Oh, bro, you can feel the difference. Yeah, even open mats yesterday, like when I roll people that are 20 kgs lighter, it's just so much easier.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Size does matter.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to say is raising kids in this world. I guess we talked about martial arts for kids, but I was hearing this thing that there's some Pride Week the other week in schools.
Yeah, fuck, I was talking to a work colleague, and apparently at their school it was Pride Week, and this is like an intermediate school, and I'm like, fuck, we shouldn't. Yeah, my thoughts on that is they're very anti that, and there's nothing against anybody, that swings that way, but why are we putting that idea in children's heads? To me, that's like almost evil, Yeah, and almost wanting them to think.
Yeah, hard. What age level would was it? Was it a high school?
Intermediate. So what's that? 12 to 14 maybe.
But they shouldn't be you shouldn't be putting that in their mind at that age.
No, 100% not. If they want to make their own decision later in life, then that's on them. But putting that idea in people's heads and doing shit like Pride Week in primary school and intermediate, that's kind of fucked,
Yeah. Bro, if I had my kid in school and they had Pride Week, I'll be taking them out for that week,
I think that's the benefit of a Catholic school. You're not going to get that shit, right?
That is true.
They're not going to fucking do Pride Week at Catholic school.
But you never know in this day and age.
Yeah, I was definitely concerned when I heard that, and everyone else was, that's super neat and super cool, and I was like, I held my tongue. I didn't want to start any confrontations, but I'm
like you said, it's like, nah, well, I mean, that's another whole topic in itself, but it's not even an attack on the Pride people. It's more just like, you don't need to be pushing that on the kids.
No, fuck no.
Like, if they're an adult and they decide to do that, that's a different thing, but keep the kids out of it, man. They're innocent, right? We've got to protect the innocence of the child.
100%. I mean, you're even seeing it in all the TV shows, and especially all the Disney shit these days. They're just slowly weeding that stuff in, the pronouns and shit like that. It was on the Star Wars show the other day. I read an article that instead of saying they refer to them as a they or something. I'm like, we don't need to be putting this in everything.
It's just going to confuse them.
Especially, I saw it was on like a Transformers kids show for, young kids, and they're like, oh, what's your pronouns? Like just brainwashing, You got to be careful what you're showing. So in terms of your question, you got to be very careful on what you're showing or showing your children, you know?
Yeah, it's quite scary, really.
I mean,
And like even they, what's the word? I guess they don't brainwash them, but like they're putting the idea in their head that they're gonna have anxiety and depression and all this thing.
All
I've seen
shit.
it in my own life with other people I know, where they're like, "Oh yeah, I have anxiety," and it's like, "Fuck, do you? Like you don't like you're a young child, you don't even know what that is."
No.
And then they have to go to a counselor and talk to them about it, and the counselor's telling them, "Yeah, you do have anxiety." Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I think also just going back to like plastics and stuff, there's a lot of research showing that's why like those levels and shit are going up as well. It's because just the chemicals, you know.
Bro, Taylor was telling me, so she's looking into like this UV light which kills bacteria for kids' bottles.
Yeah.
Lots of people put that UV light on a plastic and then it like discolors the plastic bottle. But like,
true.
These are what we're giving like our kids, like newborn kids. Like we're like putting a UV light that's gonna heat treat it to kill the bacteria.
Yeah.
But it's just like gonna be getting all that BPA and shit, and then the kids drinking it. It's
100%,
disrupting their hormones.
Plastic bottle in the microwave with the milk.
Yeah, bro, they literally tell you to do that. It's like, fuck, it's crazy.
I know. It's all these things, but like, raising a child in today's society, so many dangers of the concrete jungle, you know?
Yeah.
Especially online, keeping children safe online is another one, because, I mean, back in the day, you never really had that issue, right? But now there's, so many, concerns.
And it's hard, because I'd like to think, when I have my child and they're like 2 or 3, that I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck, just go on the iPad.
Yeah.
But it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
I think it's like, when they're being loud or you're out to dinner and they're misbehaving, it's like, oh, just go in there and then they shut up. But I don't know, you really got to, I guess, try and not do that.
I mean, when we grew up, we didn't have iPads and stuff, right? We had little books and things like that. So I think even on that topic, just like giving them iPads, it's already starting to ruin their attention span, a little bit.
But I feel it, like if I mean, not perfect, but like if you're on YouTube and you're just scrolling, like YouTube Shorts, you could literally do it for like an hour and you just feel so like just dumb at the end of it. Like your brain's just fried.
Every video you're getting a new dopamine hit. Yeah. And it's just unnatural levels of dopamine, And
you literally feel fried at the end of it. So I guess kids growing up, they're doing that all the time.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think a lot of things like AI, this is not really to do with children, but like a lot of things like AI and things like that are just making us lazier. And less, require like ChatGPT. How good is ChatGPT? I love it. Yeah. But I'm like, fuck, this is making me so fucking lazy, It
is.
I use it for work every day. I just like spell check my email, which is good because I have good spelling. But like, fuck, it stops me from.
You have good spelling of ChatGPT's checking it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. But yeah, raising a kid, there's a lot of things for concern for sure. Just the way, I'd say the way Western society is going. Is heading down a very strange path.
Yeah, it's super interesting times, even how you talk about like China trying to actively do things to
100%
increase the test, and I don't know what's going on in Russia and countries like that, but
well, I remember we looked at those studies. The countries with the highest testosterone naturally were Mongolia and like Russia and a few African countries as well. And if you think about it, why a lot of them don't use fucking plastics? They're real old school in the sense that
they're probably just little farm villages eating chickens and eggs.
All natural stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah.
I'll have to deal with all that shit soon.
Yeah, be a fun time.
Yeah.
Lots of different phases. So I think another important thing with children is obviously what you're putting in, what they're eating, what they're watching, but making how do I put it? Putting them with other individuals is super important to develop social skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's literally the most important thing about school for kids.
Yeah. It's learning. You see a lot of people that don't put their kids through like kindy and homeschool and stuff, and they end up quite strange. So.
Well, it's a tough one because I've done a bit of research, and I think it's for the first 3 years, it's real important for the kid to be with the mother. Yeah. For like brain development and stuff, but bro, the way that our society is set up is like you get maternity leave for 6 months, you get paid, and then you're almost forced to like put your kid into a daycare 6 months old, and then it's like someone else is raising your child almost all day.
Well, that's like the importance of being a man, being able to provide so they don't have to work. I mean, 2 incomes is always better than 1, but
but in this day and age, it's very hard to provide off one income, right? Like it's set up, you literally need both.
Well, half of it goes to tax. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it is.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, for me, I'll be trying to teach my kid to be like a critical thinker, eh?
Critical thinker. Get them into martial arts as well. So
what martial arts would you get your kids into?
Not karate.
Not karate? Why not?
Not karate. Definitely jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Definitely jiu-jitsu. And I'd definitely like them to get into a bit of wrestling. And later in life, if they want to pursue something like striking, then sure. But obviously, once their brains are fully developed. So I think jiu-jitsu for kids is the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Not going to mess up the noggin, and it's super safe, things like that.
Surely it's fun for them too, right? Like rolling
100%,
around.
100%.
You'd think especially for little boys, but I know lots of girls like it as well.
So many. So I think the kids' classes, both at Valley and at Workshop, are very mutually split with males and females. So
I wish that, because when Workshop do kids class, is it just kids class? That's it? Yeah. Fuck, I wish that there was one where it was like a kids class and at the same time there was an adults class. Yeah. So it's like you could go and train while your kids training as well. Yeah.
I think actually Steve's gym does a multi-training, come train with your kids training thing, something like that. So I was reading on his website the other day. So yeah.
Because I see a lot like in Potty Doer, I know lots of people that have kids end up getting involved with the kids class. Yeah. Because like you're going anyway, right? If you know what you're doing, you may as well help teach
100%. I mean, I think the important thing for teaching kids jiu-jitsu is you got to do a lot of like games.
Right.
Keep
them engaged.
Yeah, because doing a cold drilling for a kid, that's not very engaging. Yeah. Right? I mean,
and it almost would just turn into like babysitting.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like you got to make fun games with a mix of fun and they're still getting that kind of jiu-jitsu in. Like a few of them would be, I don't know, put your young kid on your back and you just shake them off and they just have to kind of hold it, True. Like that's fun. They're like, oh shit, I don't want to fall off.
Put your hooks in.
Yeah. Put your hooks in. At the same time, they're learning jiu-jitsu and they're having fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's a cool drill, actually.
And a lot of stuff like that. I know what at Workshop at the end they do. I don't know what they call it. I think the gauntlet. They get the adults to run through, and literally all the children have to just get them down.
Oh, true.
So there's like they're on their heads and like fucking trying to take them down, things like that.
There was like that question in the boys chat. What was it like? You versus 103-year-olds?
Yeah,
or something?
103-year-olds. I mean, eventually they're just gonna overtake you. So
yeah. Yeah, I know, like, personally growing up doing TKD, we would literally walk up and down the gym doing, like, punches, like, and, like, it definitely can get boring as a kid.
Oh, 100%.
So it is true to...
Well, I mean, even on that topic, cold drilling as an adult gets boring,
Yeah.
I think it definitely has its place, but live drilling in games, so much fun. So much.
But then it goes back to discipline as well, right? Surely if you're doing that as a kid, you're teaching them discipline.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, okay, to get good at doing this move, you need to drill it like 1,000 times.
Well, it just puts good values in their head, and they, again, know how to defend themselves because there's always going to be a bully on the schoolyard.
Yeah.
And
how cool would it be your kid is like the top dog in the schoolyard?
The top dog beats the bully.
Yeah. That would be one thing I'll be implanting is like, you can't be a bully. Like, that would be one thing I'll be really drilling.
You can't be a bully and you can't stand down from bully.
Yeah, you got to stand up for others.
You fucking got to stand up. Yeah. You can't let someone walk over you. I'd rather my kid punch him straight back in the face than concede to giving him his lunch, Like,
bro, it's going to be so funny, like, in 10 years' time when all the boys have kids,
Yeah.
Because, if my son got into a scrap at school and someone called me about it, I'd be thinking, like, in the back of my head, oh, who won? Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
And then he comes home, Dad, I double leg takedown, then I armbarred him.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. So, that's a super important to get your kids into martial arts.
Yeah.
And also just sports in general as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Building that camaraderie and team skills and in sports. Doesn't really matter what the sport is, but getting your kid involved in sports is good.
Yeah. Good for making friends. I know growing up, obviously playing footy with all the boys, right?
Best for making friends and, keeps them fit, active, and, again, just teaches them to be social.
And teaches them how to lose.
And how to lose. You never, unless you're, Khabib, you never knock. Even Khabib's lost in his amateur career, You're always going to lose at some stage.
Yeah. And you see it at the kids' comps for jiu-jitsu. When they lose, they always cry. It's like whoever loses. But I guess that's shit they're dealing with as a kid.
It's so important to lose, yeah.
Maybe that's it for those adults that don't like competing. Is like, they probably didn't do much when they were younger.
And I think a lot of it's fear as well. Just
Yeah.
like fear of looking silly in front of your team. But it's like no one fucking cares. Like no one's gonna remember in 6 years how you lost in the fucking first division.
Exactly.
In a white belt comp. Like who the fuck cares, you know?
And in your case, it's like people remember, oh fuck, he's got over 100 plus comp wins.
Yeah, I've
Not
got
like,
so many. I've got like 50 losses.
Yeah,
It's
not
like,
how many
hell.
losses you had.
No, I'm like, I've lost heaps. It just makes you better at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I feel like people are pretty harsh when it comes to UFC and stuff, though.
Very harsh.
Before I got into training, I was like that. I'd be like, oh, the bro has like 5 losses.
Yeah,
He
fuck.
sucks.
But the thing in boxing, you see a lot of people with O records, like 30-0, 40-0, but it's so not scripted, but they give them, they build them up to these places and they protect. That's the word I was looking for. They protect them.
Give them tin cans.
Whereas, literally, UFC is like, we want to make the best fights in the world. They do slightly protect up and coming stars. Like Bo Nickel and Sean O'Malley, I feel they do protect them a little bit by giving them tin cans. But like for the most part, like someone like Charles Oliveira, he's got heaps of losses, but they put him against the best in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're fucking fighting Armin next, and he's amazing. They don't protect him like they do on boxing. But yeah, I think losing's super important.
Bro, on UFC, I saw that they offered Bo Nickel Robert Whittaker, but he was out in the bush hunting or something.
True.
Yeah, he's like had missed calls, and then by the time he got out into service, they'd already booked in that other guy.
So Ikram,
Yeah.
who got knocked out.
Yeah.
That
was wild.
I think a good fight for Bo Nickel would be Rodolfo Vieira, who has won the ADCC.
Yeah.
He's middleweight. I think he's only lost once or twice, but very good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he jacked
so,
out.
Yeah, real jacks. He's won ADCC, so that'll be a good fight for him.
That would be. I watched I think the fight where he lost for the first time. He got subbed.
He did. He
like
got
Darce choke or something.
he got. It was a Walsh choke, bro.
Oh yeah,
he
crazy.
Got gassed. Yeah.
And bro, that guy was paying like 30-1 to get a submission.
Yeah. Anthony Hernandez was the one that got
beast.
it. Yeah, he got him with a Walsh choke. That's right.
Yeah, I guess cardio makes fools of us all. Eh?
Oh fuck, we've all been there, eh? All been there. Oh, when you're absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what to do, you just can't do it.
Do you train much cardio these days outside of jits?
I went through a phase where I was on the air bike. Definitely helped my jiu-jitsu in terms of like the intense scrambles. But I just reckon my rolling cardio, unless I'm rolling someone that really knows how to push the pace, like Pat, I don't really get tired. But he exhausts me. Like I get fucking tired rolling him. But no, I don't train any cardio.
But on your average session, like you're dripping in sweat, right?
Yeah,
so you're clearly working.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Within 5. I don't know. I love the sweaty sessions. Something about the steamy room where all the boys are just fucking going hard.
When you're in that zone.
Yeah, I love it. Like have you seen the Russian wrestling rooms?
No.
Like they open the door and it's just fucking fog in there.
True.
Because like old school wrestling gyms, no matter the temperature outside, they turn the heaters on full blast and you have to wrestle in the heat.
Damn.
Yeah, we used to do that. Even at Tawa Tigers, we did that. They had a big fucking jet fan thing. It was like blue flame, like. More fucking training there. I'm like, bro, I'm drenched. Can we turn it off? Like, nah.
Yeah, I guess wrestling would probably be okay because you'd have boots on, so it's not as slippery. But in jiu-jitsu, fuck, you'd be sliding all over the place.
It's a bit dangerous, eh? And that's when I think the staph starts to come when it gets real hot. Like, fuck yeah. Staph's not fun. You don't want that.
Yeah, have you had staph many times?
3-4 times. I've had it quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
It's not fun, but it's a part of the sport. I think most people, if you're training long enough, will eventually get it at some point. And it's an easy fix. It's just, you don't want to leave that untreated.
Yeah, I've been sketching because last week I went hunting, obviously, and like munched my fingers out in the bush. And then got cuts all over them. Then when you're rolling throughout the week, you're like, oh,
I think if you wash up pretty good, you should be fine afterwards.
There's like Paddy Rose always got fucking like tape or gloves on or some shit. Like this week he had like all these loose tape and he had one glove on that was ripped and it was like fucking hell. Always some sort of cuts.
Oh, yeah, I mean, as long as your hygiene's good, not bringing yuckies into the gym. I mean, I've trained in a few gyms that they didn't care about cleaning too much, and it's not the nicest.
Well, even when we used to roll in the TKD gym.
Oh, fucking dirt.
Bro, I shit you not, they would get cleaned once a year max.
Yeah.
But it's because they were never rolled on. It was always stand up. And then we were like rolling all over there.
No, I think hygiene's super important.
Yeah.
In any martial, or fucking just in life in general, right? Yeah.
All right, shot, brother.
Shot for having me.
I reckon we call it that. Let's see how we go with editing.
2 hours. All right, cheers for having me. Until the next one.
Yep.